Hey YouTube, it's your favorite mega church cult survivor, Leah Lorder, and I'm gonna just redo my hair right now. Y'all know how it is, man. It's real outside in these streets. So anyway, I'm live on TikTok right now, and I'm gonna go live on Instagram. And y'all know who I am. I survived 18 years in a mega church cult, and now I'm in these online streets every day, exposing them up because everybody needs to understand exactly what happened to me in there. And I need everybody to know, like, it's not church hurt, because that's a phrase that they loved using until I stepped on the scene. You know, them ones. It's not church trauma. It's not church hurt. It's church trauma. It's church abuse. Like, that's what we experienced in these settings. So we really need people to understand, to create awareness. Oh, guys, let me get comfortable. Because, you know, for me, this live is a little bit more about me just kind of releasing some of the anger that I have towards just like how easily this type of like really dangerous, false rhetoric can just be like put in the airwaves like so easily, and people can just, anyone can do it. See, like how I'm writing a bit, like anyone can do it. Like, this is what I'm trying to show people. It doesn't make anyone any special. 1 second. Hey Insta, it's Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church cult survivor, and I'm live on TikTok and YouTube as usual. And y'all know the drill. I'm sure you know me already. I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm going to be telling you what false doctrine is, okay? I spent 18 years in a mega church cult. I was a worship leader and a high-ranking member for 18 years under the fake ministry of Dag Mills, and now I expose church cults and the tactics that they use. And I'm basically going to be showing you. Oh my gosh, YouTube! I'm so sorry. That was so ghetto, innit? You know, I always forget that, like, I'm live. Share. So I'm going to be talking about Spiritual Dangers, the book Spiritual Dangers by my cult leader, Dag. Have I got mods active? Because I can't, like, the way my setup is. I'm trying to. I've been cuffed up too long. Let me remind. All right. So today I'm going to be talking about Spiritual Dangers. This is a fantastic book written by the best-selling author, Dag Mills. He's such a good author, you know. That's what they sell it as, best-selling author. Guys, you know what? Oh yeah, the book's behind me on TikTok. I'm so sad I don't know how to do the green screen on Insta and YouTube. I am hot chair. Oh yeah, so at the back I'm just gonna read the blurb. It says Dag Mills is the author of many books, including the best-selling Loyalty and Disloyalty. Has anyone heard of his book Loyalty and Disloyalty? Miss CHM. Oh hey Alita. Miss CHM or Alita, can you pin that comment? Someone pinned someone commented, because I can't, my setup is mad. He is the founder of a denomination of over 1,000 churches. This book's old though, it's many more now, called the Lighthouse Chapel International. I don't know how it got to like 6,000 churches in Africa, but anyway. And then it says he's an international evangelist. All right. So this book is interesting because I think I'm just going to jump straight in. I'm going to explain it a little bit. I'm going to show how they manipulate and twist the doctrine, yeah, to basically like perpetuate their ideology and their propaganda. All right. So this book is called Spiritual Dangers. For y'all on TikTok, you can see it here. And on YouTube and Instagram, I have the live and direct copy. Hey, King Joker, welcome. Do you know what triggered me to come on the live? Because I was actually feeling really tired. You know, today's a day of rest. You get me? Today's a day to send well wishes to your enemies. Forgive and pray for them. So I weren't really going to come on this evening, but I just saw Archbishop Duncan Williams, like, you know, condoning Dag Mills. Hey, Joker. And I just had to come on. All right. So the first chapter opens saying why things must be done first. Yeah. So he talks about wrong priorities being a danger for Christians. So when you're a sinner, you've got two options, good and evil. I forgot about all of this. He says that you've got like the devil and you've got like the angel, like on either side, telling you to do things. So it's like he brings in this doctrine of proton. So he says, according to Dag, when he studied the words of Jesus, according to him, he said that Jesus spoke of the first or the foremost issue. He used the Greek word proton. In this book, we take a look at the proton issues, things that Jesus said should be done first. So Dag's got an obsession with like Greek words, and David Antry's got an obsession with Latin. Is it Latin or is it Greek? David Antry's they've got another language in Charis because he copies everything that Dag does. So they've got like koinonia. we've got groups called koinonia and First Love. It's a sister church cult. That's why I say Charis is a sister church cult, because they've got like the culture. They've got like the culture in there, you know, they're just loud and opinionated like our I'm loud and opinionated like Mrs. Antry. She wears the trousers in that relationship, sweetie. All right. So then out of that, so Dags basically said, all right, so now Jesus has said the proton thing, yeah, because he's got the Greek word. Guys, this is how wild it is. This is how you do up false doctrine, yeah. And then he's gone on to say, as a Christian, you must do things first. First things first means first in time. Guys, this is exactly how he's written it. Look, best-selling author. As a Christian, you must do things first. First things first means first in time, comma, order, comma, number, comma, rank, and value. So you can see even in the book, he's talking about ranking, he's talking about order, he's talking about time. It's like very light instruction. Their instruction, order, control. That's how it is. Exactly as you know, Dag writes like he speaks. That's why he says that you never have to like meet him, because you know what, Dag never thought this day would come when someone like me would rise out of the ashes. Do you get what I'm saying? So he basically indoctrinated us to soak in the books, to eat it. He indoctrinated it like this is our spiritual food. And because I felt like I had to like really prove myself, because I'm just judged, you know, like if you're a pretty girl in there, I came from the world, I was on the X Factor singing, whatever. So I felt like I had to really prove myself. So basically, the long story short is I took in a lot of this doctrine. All right, then he starts giving us points like why certain things must be done first. And he's going on about this proton. So what happens is in the cult is there's like this culture like about proton and, you know, things being done first, like the ministry being the proton thing, like, you know, the cult being the proton thing. I'm just going to jump straight into chapter 2, yeah? And remember I said to you that Matthew 6:33, yeah? I will never forget this scripture, like ever. Like, you know, like if someone said to me, all right, your life depends on it, you got to quote a scripture perfectly, it would be Matthew 6:33. And this is, seek ye first the kingdom. And what I want to show you, if you can see it, is in the book. All right, I'm going to have to show like YouTube first. I don't know if you can see it, but where it says, but seek ye, it's in commas, proton. Where it says seek ye, it's in commas, proton. You can see it there. Yeah. So it's just ever so slightly manipulated. When a young novice to the faith reads this, they're going to just see Matthew 6:33. They're not going to be seeing through a deconstructed, deprogramming lens and think, oh my gosh, this is a malignant, narcissistic cult leader who's obsessed with the Greek language and uses it to manipulate. Because this is also a mystical manipulation, like using the Greek. Do you know what I'm saying? Like bringing it in, and it's just all manipulation, man. Everything's manipulation. So anyway, but seek ye first, he adds the proton. So that's no longer Matthew 6:33. That's because Jesus didn't say, but seek ye first, in commas, proton, the kingdom of God and his right. It changes it. And like these different faiths, like Mormonism, whatever, like these books, it's so subtle when they change things. So this becomes this is a different religion. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there's a lot of like offshoot, what we call NRMs, new religious movements. They're offshoot cults of the wider religious institution. And this is why we have a lot of false doctrine. And there's a lot of false teachers that are responsible for perpetuating absolute human fecal matter into the airways. And this is one of them. I'm just glad that a lot of it is mystical manipulation, and Dag doesn't actually, he hasn't actually made the impact that he thinks he's made in his head. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So I'm happy that it's not like, you know, he's not at like TD Jakes level where there's been a real infiltration, because not everybody could read these books. Hey, Soft Life, welcome, my love. Not everybody, you know, what his argument is that he writes them like that so that everybody can understand like basic. But it's like, no, babe, you haven't, because this isn't inclusive of people with learning difficulties and people with, you know, different like disabilities. It's not accessible. Hey, Hey down with. You're right, my love. Hey Christ first. Anyway, I'm just gonna get into this. So seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. Yeah. So he's put in the proton. So it's like seek ye first. You have to put, and then the kingdom, what they do is they change that into the cult, into the work of God, into outreach, aka recruitment, into doing all the tasks, all the meaningless tasks that they create in these institutions. It becomes the proton thing. You have to seek ye, and when they're there, but on Sunday they'll be like, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. All things. Do you see that? Do you see, as you focus on the ministry, as you focus on working for God in the house of God, all things shall be added unto you. You're there for 5 years, 10 years, all things haven't been added onto you. That's why you see the gal them 5, 10 years later down the line. What it would mean. These people don't understand that they're showing themselves on TikTok. Yeah, that's how they say it, girl. They emphasize on the first shall be added onto you. They have this voice thing that they do. It's all manipulation, Chair. I was taught how to do it because you can't have monotone voice. Everything's fake in there, y'all. It was the pandemic. It exposed it real bad. I haven't even started yet. Are you having a laugh? I haven't even started, Chair. They taught me, they said, like, you can't preach monotone because people are going to get bored, they're going to fall asleep. So there's like an art. Isn't there even a point about the art of preaching, the art of teaching? He's got a book about the art of, there's a book for, he's exposed himself in all the books because the books validate what we're saying. It shows the coercive control. It shows, because it's like him speaking. It's almost like he's just sat there and spoken, and then someone's just gone over it and edited it quickly. That's what I think he does. There's no actual thought, because these books, yeah, when they come and they raise funds, yeah, they do. Oh, what did they used to call it? Oh, I can't even remember. Anyway, introducing a new book, yeah. It's like, and using windows. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, they'd be using bare windows of people's personal life, and then be telling you when you get offended that you're proud and you're not a spiritual daughter of the house. It's just, I could go on and on, Chair. These books, it would start from like 5 bills, 2 bills. That's 500, 200 for this book, and they'd be like, we know that the book costs £5. We know that the retail price is £5, but we're not talking about the retail price here. We're talking about sowing a seed into the man of God, into the works of the kingdom. We are sowing a seed into the ministry. We are sowing a seed in furthering the work of God, kingdom business. So we know that, of course, we know that this book doesn't cost £500. But it is a seed that we are sowing into the ministry. And you know that as the sower sows on the good ground, he reaps a bountiful harvest. So as you sow into the man of God, the Lord will bless you 100-fold. We all know the parable of the sower. Let's sow into a good ground. Let's sow into a good field. Let's sow into a man of God that we can trust and know that if you cannot go to Burkina Faso, you cannot go to Ouagadougou, but prophet can go there. He is risking his life to go there. So the little money that you sow into the ministry, you can't go, but your money can go. Your money can go. You are here, and then they'll be holding the book like this. Your money is here in England, and they'll be holding the book like this. Your money is here in England. You are in a country where God has blessed you to work. The people that prophet is going to go to, he's tried to do an offering before, and they came and gave him only yams. It was food. They don't even have money to give the man of God. So here you are. God has blessed you with work. God has blessed you with a job. You are coming. Before you were in the club, wiggling your waist. Now you are working in the city. You are working in the city. The Lord has blessed you. You cannot sow £200 into for the work of God, the work. Mina, that's a dub. Boy, I met you in a club. Go. Oh, I'm so happy to be free. And you know, for such a time as this, because in my day, we only had we had Lil Kim, we had Eve, we had Trina. Oh, thanks, babe. Faith said I'm such a vibe. Evening, Queen. I'm so glad. I'm like a 20-year-old. all the gal them are effort with me. You know, the 20-year-olds, they're all vibe. But there's some old souls as well. There's some old souls. So we complement each other because y'all are young, but you still got like the old soul vibe. Do you get what I'm, you know, the 90s, it's just it, man. And you're an old soul. Yeah, that's the vibe. Because I'm an old soul, but it's like old souls, like we just connect. It's just that because we appreciate, you know, we appreciate what we appreciate in it. Like those who know, chair. Look at elites. All right. I'm not gonna do too much on this. Oh, thanks, babe. Girl, do you know what it is? I just saw Archbishop Duncan Williams going on about that, and I said, "Oh, let me jump on quickly." I can't, you know, girl, I can't even chill here and have my drink. You know, it could be a whole vibe, but it's just like every day they're just snitching. Every day, it's like I just got to come on here with my t-shirt. You get me? Like, anyway, I need to glow up, man. I need to do something, but I'm gonna glow up for August. That's gonna be my time. I'm not July's just, but August. I got a few things going on stilly. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. So, are you not familiar with the seek ye first the kingdom of God? So, basically, what he's saying, yeah, is that you have to seek the kingdom of God before you seek your personal kingdom of wealth, comfort, and security. There are many reasons why the kingdom of God must be sought first, and in the first part of your life. So, do you see how this is how they manipulate you to missing your child's first play? You know, cleaning your yard, like doing things that need to be done, your health, because it's like the kingdom of God comes first. The work of the ministry comes first. But do you know what that equates to? That equates to the needs of the cult leader, because it's his vision. It's his vision, it's his goal, it's authoritarian. It's an authoritarian structure. There's no free will. There's no one, like there's no democracy. And you know, guys, do you know what the funny thing is? Yeah, at certain parts, it's really strange when I'm speaking, because it's like I imagine how they think sometimes, like how I used to think when, you know what I'm saying, like I was severely indoctrinated. Do you get it? Like, oh my gosh, there's not supposed to be any democracy because the loyalty and disloyalty doctrine drives that out. Dag Galactic, why isn't Dag called Archbishop? Oh, he had this fake thing that he did up where he tried to show that he was humble and put this guy in that position, but unfortunately he's unalive now. May he RIP. And that guy, he just, you know, Dad can still tell him what to do. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit of a manipulation tactic. That's what it was. There's no one above that guy, man. No one comes above. He's got Archbishop. I think he's trying to do up that Archbishop Duncan Williams is a spiritual father now. Like, I don't bloody know. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? I'm just so over it. That's how I know that my man is desperate at the moment. That's how I know. Because I've never heard him call that man his spiritual father. All I remember is Kenneth E. Hagin. The way he used to talk about Nicholas Duncan Williams, yeah, was like, it's like he's there and he respects him, but we keep him at a distance. It's not like we were going to the ministry and the ministry was coming to us. And like, I feel like I'm more acquainted with Caris even than what's it called? It's called Calvary something, isn't it? What is it called? Calvary? Is it Calvary Chapel? Action Chapel. Is it Action Calvary Chapel or Action Chapel, in it? That's so he spoke about him, but it wasn't like encouraging us to buy his books, encouraging us to listen to him. Dad historically encouraged us to listen to no one, chair. But Kenneth E. Hagin, Catherine Coleman, Benny Hinn, if you listened to those guys, you were seen as very spiritual. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could come in and quote something from Benny Hinn's Good Morning, Holy Spirit, because that was one of the approved books on the list. So you could have that book as part of the library, because Dag has even quoted that book in his books. So if you imagine, it's like he's almost like the teacher and this is his books, and it's like there's like a reading list. But these are the things that you start to know. These are the unspoken laws and rules. But I guarantee you, if you go to anyone's yard, yeah, that's like a millennial like mine, in their library, you'll find all Dag You'll find Robert Lydon, God's General. All of these old school members have these somewhere. Do you get what I'm saying? Then there'll probably be a Catherine Coleman book. And then there'll be Good Morning Holy Spirit in there as well. And Dag would encourage us to like buy the book. I think that inspired his book Quiet Time as well. You just know a lot about Dag. That's why, like, guys, you know, I come on here and I sit on here for hours and hours. Like, who am I talking about? What am I talking about? Because this is how they program you to know everything about the cult leader. But when you're in there, you don't clock it, man. You don't clock it, and they really sell it to you like they're servants of the Most High. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of indoctrination around like these spiritual gifts. I don't know. I just think the way that Dag does it is really subtle and really smart, and he has a lot of books. So you know, a lot of these guys, they're just saying things into the air, and there's a lot of like, you know, false prophecies going on, but there's nothing to really like validate. So, you know, you might be like, oh, I don't know, maybe you haven't been exposed to education that much, yeah, but it's like you're still like an intelligent person, and he's got, this is how he can get you as well through the books, because he kind of sells himself as an author, but when you get the book, you're like, is this it? But it's like you can't say anything bad. There's like that cognitive dissonance, because you know it's human fecal matter, but at the same time, everyone's going on about how amazing the books are and how much they've changed their lives and da-da-da-da. And when you're speaking to people, I was told you needed an anointing. I was told you need an anointing to understand the books. I wish I had some sweets or something. You know, when you're talking about something really traumatic and you need a little bit of sweets. My baby dad. I ain't in the house yet. Go out. It's looking like a drought. Go out. Oh, I love me a bit of red, man. Ooh. Who likes a bit of red, guys? I love a bit of red. I'm so sorry, guys. I do have to disassociate sometimes and just get into my own bubble and vibe, because as I'm talking about this, I'm literally realizing the trauma. Oh, hi, Instagram. Someone's asked the question, what caused you to wake up from the indoctrination? Do you know what? It's the same story I tell, Cher. All right, so the pandemic came, and then I started questioning myself, like, why do I want to leave? Because in the cult, yeah, basically, they tell you that because you got to understand, we're recruiting constantly. There's a constant drive for recruitment, yeah. So people are coming and going all the time, and they got to like, not that they've got to have an explanation, but they've got to program you so that you automatically think it's because of that. So, for example, they indoctrinate us to think when people leave it's because they're offended, they want to be in the world. So remember, they do up us versus them. They create an invisible enemy, which is the world. And remember, when people present themselves at these CCs, they've already lost their mind. They're in some sort of traumatic headspace. They're going through a breakup. They've had like really severe trauma, like a history of SA. Great, like there's so much trauma. When they're there, they're not in their right mind. So when they're indoctrinating you, it's like your last memory in your traumatic state. Did you even have? We could even argue, did you have the mental capacity when you presented at the space to make decisions? Because I know I didn't. So that's why if my pastor had done something to me like in that way, I'd be taking him to court, because I wasn't in the right mind. There's absolutely no way. And there's so many of these types of people that have taken advantage of their trusted positions and violated women's trust. Yeah. So anyway, so when the pandemic came, yeah, this was the first time that I'd ever spent where I wasn't like in the cult. I can't explain it, but before I had doctrine called backsliding, and it's from a scripture in Proverbs. It's the whole ideology of when you backslide, it's like a dog returns to its own vomit. So it's like you go back to the old things that you used to do. Thanks for the follow, Sabrina. So the first thing you do when you leave these high control environments is, of course, you're going to go back to it. What are you supposed to do? Be a loner? If you came from the hood, you're going to go and check your old homeboys and your old homegirls. But remember, they've demonized everything and everyone in the world. So everything's EVIL. So you're in spiritual psychosis. And now you've got this brain, like spiritual psychosis, but you're back in the world. It's mad. You see, when you go back in the world, like when you so-called backslide, you feel like you're losing your mind. So you'll probably be at like the worst, like that's why. And it's not even the worst, but I remember this is from their lens. So like a lot of women, they might go and get like pregnant by their ex or by a guy, and then they come back in, and it's like the shame of it all, and they use it, and then they further break you down. It's mad in there. So what I would say is, if you're in a position, you watch this video and you've left one of these spaces, if you go back, they're going to further abuse you. Do you know what it's like when you leave them? They see you as like a wife who's like cheated, and then they've let you back. Like, listen, if you're a man and your wife knows that he's cheated on you and she stays with you, chair, I'm gonna say sleep with one eye open, baby, and put some CCTVs in your room, chair. You know them ones. So that's how they see you. When you come back like from the world, if you backslide, they still see you as an enemy. You're on the outside. You're an outsider, and you got to prove yourself again, like from scratch. Like you got to prove that you're coming, that you're faithful. It's all mad, man. So basically, when I left, it was the first time I was away from the group, the pandemic, and it was just so controlling, man. No, not in Dagenham. Who are you talking? Are you talking about Dell? Are you talking about Dell from that branch, Dell and Tilisian? Let me know in the comments, share. Because if that's the branch of the person that you're talking about, I'd be interested to speak with you. So, you know, they tried to come like, oh, we don't know who she is. Why do I know everybody, baby? Dell was even trying to look upon me, but he had no stay. So I was like, nah. I'm telling you, they make it's all proving your worth in FL. Oh, thanks, babe. Oh no, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking about me. But I know you're talking about me as well, Joker. I receive it. But I know what you mean. It's all about proving your worth, how much you can do, your value. That's why I said that they just see us as numbers. We're just targets. They don't care. So anyway, during the pandemic, we were locked down by the government, remember. Thanks for the follow, princess. And then remember, guys, this prophet's going absolutely nuts. Like, he's claiming to be a prophet. We're all looking at him like, should we take the vaccine? Should we not take the vaccine? Are we going to unalive? Is the virus going to spread? Like, can you give us a word from God? Like, we're all, because you're codependent on the mog. So we're all looking to him now. He's got, my man is quiet. Do you know what he did? He put us into severe mass mind altered states. For the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, he had us praying from 3 a.m. in the morning until 2 p.m. Guys, some of us were still working. We're working from home. I was. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's like you're not working. You're not doing anything. You can pray from this time to this. So there were people like, you know, in the NHS with the thing in there. Guys, it was just all mad. I'm not going to lie to you. He was telling us to take hydrochloroquine for COVID. That's what he was telling people to do up. And then like a couple of days later, he came out with this statement that was written by a lawyer. But we're not clocking it. We're not clocking it because we've got the pandemic going on. We're looking to this prophet like to save us. So our eyes started slowly opening. But one of the biggest things that I remember him preaching one time, yeah. And because he was in Ghana, basically in that side of the world, they were telling them to be outside. Guys, please like the live. 1K is not enough. If this doesn't get up to like 3K in 10 minutes, I got to go. Because they come on and they try and get me off, yeah. So he was on his compound and in the mountains, yeah. And I remember one time he's going in like that, and he's going in, and he's like, my empire will not be destroyed. What we have built will not be destroyed. I remember pausing and just looking. I'm thinking empire, because when you're in there, it's like cognitive dissonance. It's like even though you know it's wrong, because they're saying that it's right, you're going with it being right, but it's like there's like a split in your mind. So I was coming out of the cognitive dissonance, because at this point it was just human fecal matter. Like if you were there and doing up believe it, if you didn't hear God during the pandemic, oh God, I don't know. If you didn't hear God during the pandemic, I don't know what to say. And that's why I'm saying, guys, trust me. If you thought it was a jungle when you were there, It's the apocalypse for them in there now. That's what it is, because you've got all different types. Like everybody that's in, they don't know who to trust. There's gonna be majority. Listen to me and listen to me. Wow. Majority of the people in there, especially the OGs in there, I would be looking like behind my shoulder, because the OGs, especially bare people know me, man. Bare people know me. There's examples I'm using when there's people that are still in the cult that were sitting next to me on the Tuesday service, or sitting on the row or the adjacent row next to me, saw me singing, remember what I'm talking about. They know what I'm saying is true. They know what I'm saying is true. They know what I'm saying is true. So those type of people, they're in there because now they've clocked it. So they're not breaking their back for the cult. They've got a man that they never would have got if they were in the wild. So they're all in there. They're just in there coasting. They're not giving the offerings like before. Look, which is why I stayed even longer. People are in there for like their own various reasons now. They're not giving it like, what you need to understand is this is all energetic. This is all about siphoning energy. It's the energy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's with the stars, it's the energy they bring. It's all about energy. Like, these guys ain't no anointed. It's not God. It's just energy. It's psychology, Jaya. Are my mods, Joker, are you around? It's energy. Faith, can I make you a mod as well? Do you want to be a mod girl? I think Faith can do up modding, don't you? Because I don't have time for this, babe. I've got a lot of people who support me, Jaya. Do you know what I'm saying? There was even a survivor that came out and brought themselves out one time on the live and said, Leah, I'll mod for you. Like, let's not do that, baby. Oh, I wonder where Burgundy is. You know, when I see people on there and I think, rah, where they at? Thanks, Elite. Yeah, Faith, just give them the warm welcome for me, my love. Do you know what I'm saying? Just go with your gut. That's what we do up in here. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not severely indoctrinated in this chat. Yeah. So anyway, let me just get on to answering the questions. So when my man was doing up that, what we started clocking was he was looking more like a dodgy car salesman at this point, because now it's like the pandemic is here. What do we do? You've been advising us about everything our whole lives, Jill. You've been controlling and advising us. Now the pandemic's here. You're not hearing from God all of a sudden. So he put us in this mind-altered state of like praying for hours and hours and hours and hours a day, and it went on for 2 weeks. Then I started feeling like I wanted to leave the environment, because guys, I was praying that we would get locked down for the pandemic. I'm thinking, why am I praying for this? Why am I sitting here praying that I will be locked down in my own home? Like, what is this? I started to question it. Then I started to feel like I want to leave the church. And I'm thinking, I've never felt like this in my life. Even when I backslid, it wasn't that I wanted to leave the CHURCH. At the time, I thought I was offended. Because, guys, listen to how pathetic this is. Me and this guy lipped up and done a bit of dry rubbing, yeah? And that was enough for me to feel like I was going to HCR and I'd committed the greatest sin. And then I thought I got offended and hurt, because you internalize what they're saying. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the ideology, you're internalizing it, you're becoming it, you're believing it, it's becoming your reality. That's the power. They're energetic manipulators, like illusionists, sorcerers, warlocks. That's what they do up, man. It's all about this energy shifting. Like, they work with a lot of different things, guys. It's a big bad spiritual world out there. They know what they're doing up, but they don't want y'all to know. They don't want us to know. I know what I know now, innit? That's all I'm gonna say. I know what I know. I know what I know. And as the time goes on, I'll be sharing more and more, because I've had enough. I'm not holding back anymore. I'm not holding back anymore. Because once I get myself to the level where I can come on and explain things in such a way, I'll be exposing it up in a way I've never exposed it up before. Guys, there's many dimensions to this. We've just been discussing it in a 3-dimensional plane, like what they've been doing physically, like head. We haven't gone to the other multi-dimensions. We haven't gone into the metaphysics and the esoteric and the occult of what they've been doing. We haven't got into that. But we will get into that. We definitely will get into that, chair. So anyway, I started questioning, why do I want to leave? Because at this point, I'm married. I'm not sinning. I can't fornicate because I'm married now. I've got my kids. I'm doing everything. I'm being a good wife. I'm at that point, guys. I was at the peak of ministry, like doing up choir director, doing up assistant. I was just doing everything and sundry. Had the Gwasenta, so I was doing this like online pastor. Guys, I was doing everything. So I was thriving. So that's why I was having that like malfunction. Like, why do I want to feel like I want to leave? What is this? I don't get it. Like, I was malfunctioning. Like when a robot malfunctions, chat, because they weren't able to program us the way that they did before. And the pandemic was shocking, sudden. Like cults can't deal with things like that. Like unexpected, because they plan everything. They've got like, they do a lot of life mapping. Like they map everything out, right? All right. So where are we at now? So now, obviously, even because, guys, remember, it was like 24 hours. But when we were physically going to the setting, we were working. We had to drop the kids off. Marriage, the cleaning of the house. But now we're at home. So, guys, even if and when I tell you they try to fill every second with tasks, yeah. But even then, we still had like extra time. And remember, we were just sitting in the yard. So it was like now, it was like the internet was there, the big, wide internet world. We had, because the information control, like your WhatsApp isn't your WhatsApp. Your WhatsApp is used for ministry. So you've got about 50 different chats. Every time it's pinging off, it's for the ministry. So all the other stuff, you don't really have any personal life. Your social media becomes promo for the cult. And the same with the status. And so you don't look at technology like a vehicle to create something for yourself. Like, I saw TD Jakes. This is an example of how corrupt these guys are, yeah. I saw TD Jakes answering about the whole P. Diddy thing. Was he at the party? And he's gone, oh, we shouldn't be trusting these social media platforms for facts, especially not TikTok. Have you noticed a reoccurring theme? They're all coming for TikTok. Why? Today I saw a guy, I don't know what it was, but he's got like a facial like impediment. It's some sort of, I don't know, like disfigurement of some kind, yeah. I don't know his backstory, but he's on there. He's a vibe. He's singing. He's expressing himself. I followed him and I just thought, this is beautiful. Hey, Queen Lucia, this is beautiful, because this is giving everybody their spotlight. And what I love about the community on this app is that there's all different people coming on here with all different types of gifts, and people are getting to showcase their talents. People where, like for me, I couldn't, like everyone's like, oh, Leah, go and chase your music dream. Guys, I've got chronic kidney disease. I've got chronic fatigue, guys. I've got Addison's. Like I carry around the card. I could collapse somewhere, Jay. Like even if I'm going to now like date a guy or whatever, these are things that I need to be talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I'm not. But these are just examples I'm giving. And then I've got my mental health. I've got the BPD. I've got the CPTSD. I've got the guys. There's a lot of things going on, Chair. I don't even remember. I've completely disassociated. But whatever I was saying, it was good. Right. So let me get back to this. Oh yeah, the technology. So we didn't have a relationship with technology. I was saying how beautiful the app is. And, he's just there like discrediting it and just like throwing it away. Like, do you know how many people have changed their lives because of TikTok? Like their small businesses, like the businesses have been saved. People have been able to keep their grandma's homes. Like women have been able to leave DV relationship. Like people have got their confidence. Like that's what I was saying, like because of my disability and my mental health, I can't be out there like that. So the internet works for me, especially people with disabilities. It's given us more of there's more equilibrium. It's given us more of an equal playing field, like more of an inclusive world. I feel like technology is helping our society to be more inclusive. How do y'all feel? I feel like I've got a good relationship with technology. Yeah, I feel more freedom. And I feel like people can connect on like a vibration level. It's not really that's why I don't go for looks. Like I feel like technology has done that as well. Have you seen the matchings of people these days? Like people you would never think. Like I'm looking up freaking Ross. Like this online dating. Like it's just bare mad different mixes because people are going off what? They're not going off culture. They're not going off. It's been changing for time. Defo more connection and multicultural and diversity. Yeah. And that's why you see that these institutions have been getting left behind. That's the archaic way of doing things. It's beautiful to mix and to have different and to go into a new world. It's uncertain and we don't know what's going on, but that's evolution. Like that's it's been happening over time. It's just they're really trying to be defiant and really fight this, but it's like it's happening. We're in this time. And it's about time that this happened, man, because they've been controlling stuff for years. It's absolutely too much. Thanks for liking the live, guys. Let's get it, man, on TikTok. Let's. I love this tune so much, man. You know, I just feel like if Glow never makes another tune like this again, just for this one right here. Just for this little hood anthem right here. Do you know what I mean? That's all she had to do. You know them ones. You know when it's that iconic. I love Glow. I love her so much. You know, I think it's really empowering. You know, like all the female rappers and there's even like the female rappers are like even better than the male rappers at the moment. Like it's more popping, like on the female rap scene. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just seeing. It's like any girl from the hood that's trying to come out and do something, and I love it. Because historically it's been the man coming out of the hood, and then it's been like the Aries and the women. Do you understand what I'm saying? That it's like they got to sell themselves to be with a rapper or to get a BBL, and it's just it's changing. Are you not seeing that the scales are turning? Like the gal them are now getting their money and saying to these man them like, I'm making my money and what? And it's and the thing is, if I said, oh, I find certain things empowering, people would be like, oh my God, that's controversial. But it doesn't mean that I need to go out there and give myself to a bag of man, but the ethos in terms of the confidence, you know what I mean, like just saying I don't care, it doesn't have to be my end all and be all. I find that empowering. Do you get what I'm saying? Like just having that mindset. Listen, all you need to know is whatever you think, them gal them ain't no idiot for being able to, do you get what I'm saying, make millions of pounds and sell their music. They can say whatever they want because you know why? It's all right if they're doing the same thing, but they're mentioning who's the name of, all of a sudden it's all right. Do you know what I'm saying? And all of that, they're all the same, man. At least, and my thing is, I prefer it because you're showing me who you are. There's no secrets. It's not like I'm, and that's the issue that I have. It's like we're buying into something and it's not real. None of it's real. All right, guys, do you want me to keep doing this one, or should I just, or do you guys just want to ask questions? Because I know that it is human fecal matter and not the most engaging, read. But if you lot are enjoying it and you want me to continue, then I can go on, because I did really want to rest today, but it's like my soul couldn't rest until I could come on here and just do a little something, because when I saw that video, it absolutely triggered me, and I was like, no, I got to come on her and I got to talk about something. Okay. Let me know, guys. Well, as I'm going on, if it's too much, then let me know. All right. Elites, watch Hey Featherstone, watch that geezer, because I don't know what he talked about. All right, thanks, baby. I was feeling that. I was just thinking, I don't think this is her for you. I don't think this is your type of vibe, babe. I was getting that vibe. All right. Then he's got like, all right. Then he starts like, so basically, this is basically GROOM in us, yeah, for like to be like a slave, basically, yeah. So his first point is that the kingdom of God requires an early start. The kingdom of heaven also requires a lot of time and attention. So thanks Queen Elite, thanks Licia. So what he's saying is that, so do you see how they justify the inordinate amounts of time you spending night and day there, like, missing your sister's birth, not being there as a birth partner for your sister, Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I find really funny? Like everyone's in there living this fake perfect life, and like, you know, their families are struggling. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they just abandoned their sister that's like a teen mom, like, do you know, and they're just in there like just praising the Lord. It's like, what? Your whole family's struggling, B. You're more interested in, do you know what I mean, being at the camp, being at the conferences. You get me? Like your sister's a teen mum in labor. You can't go and be a birthing partner. All you got is each other. You can't be a birthing partner because you got to go to the cult leaders, whatever. This is the guys. This is the kind of stuff that happens, Cher. Pre-slib. I'm not. It's not a testimony, babe. Certain words like that trigger us. It's not on Instagram. It's not a testimony. What I am is I'm a social justice activist. I'm here to advocate for myself and other survivors. I don't do up testimonies. Testimony is a social construct that was created by man, especially the prosperity teaching gospel, because that's the only place I know it from. I don't remember Jesus Christ talking about the testimonies. I just remember people talking about Jesus Christ, and people were hearing about it through the grapevine, because guess what? When people interacted and came into contact with Jesus didn't need to announce when he showed up. People came, they were there. He was like a magnet attracting chair. That's what Christ was on in the cup. Yeah, because he weren't about the views, he weren't about the crowds. Yeah, he was about speaking to a specific people. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's funny how Christ says, if people don't listen to you, you know, you go and knock on whatever, wipe the dust off your feet and keep it moving. But according to these, you know, street whatever, they don't take no for an answer. It's all about the views, babe. So I'm a social justice activist, and I am on here exposing I'm not, it's no testimony. This is my truth. This is what happened. Understand what I'm saying? Because those testimonies is used as cult promo. It's all that is to sell and attract young, vulnerable people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like people are there saying, "Oh, after I gave my my harvest time of reaping and sowing offering, I gave £1,500, and I miraculously got this brand new car that I wanted." You know what I mean? It's like, I remember I sowed this £500. I was just believing in God. And then I got a tax rebate. Then they'd be saying that God saved their son. And, you know, it just goes on and on and on. God saved their son. Listen, the people in there are in a spiritual psychotic bubble. So they've got a family member in the hospital that's been unwell for some time. They've been in the hospital for about, let's say, a week. I'll say they've been in there for a week. They've been on the life support machine. They've got the doctor. They've got all these, you know, top qualified medical professionals there. They're in a good hospital. Yeah. Then let's say that they've been in treatment for about 4 days. Then the MOG comes to the hospital, you know, along with, I don't know, like an assistant MOG or whatever. And then they pray for the child. And then the next day they start recovering. Now it was the miracle prayers. You know, it wasn't the fact that they've had them on whatever medication. You know, like it takes about 4 days or whatever, you know, for things to start. There's no common sense in there. And guys, I'm not saying that there still can't be things that are a miracle. I'm not saying, but it's just that there needs to be like a fine line. There needs to be a fine line between, like, you know, like miracles and healing, like the miraculous and whatever, and then science. Because science can still heal. Science can bring people back to life. There's certain like surgical procedures where they stop people's heart rate and bring them back to life. Clock it, baby. Clock it, baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? So science can. Today I was watching something on that popped up on my FYP, yeah, and this man's been studied by neuroscientists. He's been on all these shows, but he's got some sort of gift where energetically there's like some sort of healing, but they've tested it with some sort of. So I was thinking, oh, they should get all the pastors to go and do that. Let's see it, Chair. Because this has all been like proven. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like a miraculous thing that they're trying to figure out. Guys, I don't have all the scientific sayings and whatever. But it's like, I think in 2025, I think what they need to focus on, these institutions, is evidencing the work that they do. I think that's what they need to focus on, evidence in it, because I don't think that selling these invisible selling of blessings is going to work anymore. I think we're going to have to start seeing real stats in real life. You know what I'm saying? Let's really see like, what is the impact? What is the impact? And we need to start seeing impact in the UK. Like, people should start saying, like, they need, because one of the biggest red flags that you could ever have, yeah, is if you have a cult leader that has many branches, like many buildings all around the world, but they don't build nothing like in the UK. In certain countries that have more like systems and, you know, policies and legislations, yeah, that they have to follow. So they might have like this massive building in wherever, you know, that place that starts with A and ends in A, and everything is where the cult leader's from. So when you look at UCKG, Macedo's got the temple in Brazil, same with Dag in Ghana where they live. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you've got to be able to clock these things. You've got to be able to clock it early. And you've got to be asking questions and researching. But I'm going to be doing some new, fresh content. I'm going to be spending a lot of time. In the morning, I'm going to do up some meditation vibe. I'm just going to do self-love, like rose bath. That's why I don't think I'm going to do my hair, because I think I'm just going to wash it in this. Actually, I might. Guys, you might catch me on here, but I'm going to really be doing like a lot of seeking within. Oh, no, we're meeting, Chair. All right, so I'm going to have to do that in the afternoon. But I can still do that in the morning, though, because we're meeting like... Anyway, Lucy, I'll message you. And imagine how many people, because Lucy's sitting there thinking, right, she's making, like, we supposed to be... Girl, you know me, I've got ADHD, girl. I forget what I did yesterday. It's only when I see the alarm in the morning, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, yeah. That's why the best thing to do is to just meet me local, man, because I'm an MESS. And imagine how many people are still in many of these branches. Yeah, they're there because they can't leave. They're totally codependent. So my thing is not, you know, there's no testimony. There's my story, my full story. I haven't even done a full story. I need to do my full story thing. I've got so much to do. I haven't even done my full story. But guys, what I will say, there's some stuff on YouTube. Go on YouTube, Leah Lord the 77, babe. I've got a playlist. I think it's called My Life Story. And there's a couple videos in there where you can get a vibe, you know, of what I've been through, like how I was vulnerable to the cult, etc. Because the way I really see testimonies is just exaggerated, over sensationalized fairy tales. And I just see like safeguarding issues, you know, like there's vulnerable young people talking about, you know, really, like some of the things that I hear people talk about, I just think like some of these things are things that I don't think you're supposed to ever say or tell anyone. Like the things that they had us up there saying at like 19, 18, like, and you know what's mad? It's like when people have like a certain past or they're coming from somewhere, because all of these like on fire for the Lord or whatever, after a while they start to like, because it's like infectious in there, you start to like become, I don't even know, man, like just washed up. And so it's like when they get married and then they think they're too nice and now they're a leader or a wog or a morg, and it's like they start acting different. That's why the cult leader will like ruffle them up a little bit, like they do a little bit of like public humiliation here and there. It's like, know your role. Like remember who appointed you. And and Dag even says that, remember. Oh my gosh, what's the book? Is it called Remembrance? He's got a book in it called Remembrance. Oh, do you know what? I'm so glad that I'm meeting up with Lucia tomorrow. Do you know what, babe? I think I need a bit of a, do you know what I mean? Like just away from this for a little bit and just, you know, just the chin wag. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to hear your full story. Yeah, if you go on YouTube, yeah, them ones. What do you mean to me, or you need to speak like your truth? Sorry, guys, you know me. I'm always trying to fish. Guys, I'm telling you, I guys, when I tell you I suffered, yeah, you're so powerful. We've got a lot of powerful people in the collective, you know, and everyone's time is different. Everyone's time when they're meant to speak. Like Soft Life's been coming on, like it's been well over a year. She's been since the beginning for a year. Like Soft Life's only come on to speak once, I think. Do you know what I mean? And then she just come in and just spit in the knowledge, man. Dag says to me, remember who bring you up. He loves. Do you remember when? Do you know what my favorite thing from Dag is? Like when they used to have pastor's appreciation day. Yeah. So he used to put money in an envelope and give it to your pastor. Then he changed it, and then he was like, "Oh, like basically you don't give the money to your pastor, you give it to Dag now, because he said that he needed to teach us, including the pastors, how to honor him." So then it turned, and guys, some of these pastors were struggling, you know, they didn't have their say. Like some of these guys, they would look forward to this, like this would just give them, like, you know, a little bit of wiggle room, because they don't get paid. The lay pastors in there don't get paid. He's got this book called the lay ministry, and it's the whole ideology that people can do a full-time job and then work for the ministry. Hey, Ange. But what happens? Hey, Queen. Thank you, my love. But do you know what happens? People end up working more hours than their job. I gave, because this is what the proton's about. This is what the spiritual danger is about you putting something before God, you putting your wife before God, you putting your job before God. And then they bring in, don't store up your treasures here on earth, but store them up in heaven. Don't store your treasures where moths can come in and eat, and robbers can come in, and, you know, they use all of this, and they make it out like everything that you're doing for this cult is, you know, somehow getting exchanged into building a mansion in heaven. Do you know what it feels like? Do you know what it's giving? And Ange, I think this will resonate. Yeah, I gave money to him direct, but to flight and everything. Oh my God. Oh, you must have been RADICAL to go and hand it to him personally, Chair. It reminds me of, you know, like when the British told the Caribbeans, you know, like in the Windrush, like we've got streets paved of gold, you know, like it's really giving that, you know, like that trickery, like that deception. The amount of money it took to travel to Ghana alone from the UK. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that, you know, going and Dag will meet you when you go all the way from London. When you come all the way from London with, you know, a big wad of cash, of course he's going to see you then. But any other time, you know, it takes anointing. That's how he's indoctrinating us. It takes anointing, it takes this, it takes that. Like, but you just don't notice it when you're in there. So, for example, he was raising money. I'll never forget this, for people to commit to be board members. And we already have this thing called the Healing Jesus Crusade. And you'll have to come and tell us about that one time, Joker, because I'm going to do a series. I want to do a series on like Ghana and that. I think we need to talk anyway. Oh, I've lost what I was going to say now. What was I saying? I don't even remember, Chair. But there's a lot of financial ABUSE in there, man. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, the board member. We commit to being Healing Jesus Crusade member, and that can be given anywhere from £5 upwards. But Dag wanted us to commit being a Healing Jesus board member, which was committing to setting up like a standing order for £100 a month for 12 months. And all of the people that were becoming board members got to like meet Dag. So it was like a meet and greet. And we got to all ask him one question. And if you're interested in what I asked him, then you can ask in the chat. And then he says that the kingdom needs young people. So, oh yeah, there's this big indoctrination. This is why the kids are RADICAL. This is why they'll go to places like Wireless, because they're saying, you know, when you were in the world, you were going to Wireless, you were going raving, you were going, why can't you go there and preach for the Lord? Why can't you work for the Lord? Work. It's very like the proton dick should be serving the Lord. You need to use your youth. You need to use your youth to serve the Lord. Hey, Tenny, you need to use all of your youth. Your best years, give your best years for God. Your best years. And then they'll be holding the book like this. Your best years for God. For God. Not for me. Not for prophet. For God. And it's like at that point you can hear a pin drop. So, be found as a good and faithful servant. When the trumpet sounds, And Christ comes back like a thief in the night. Don't be found in the club, oh. Be found in prayer. Be found serving the Lord. And be like David, where you want to be in the house of the Lord forever. Raise to yours, everybody stand to your feet. And then you see the praise and worship rush into the, oh guys, this is my bread and butter. I was doing this every single day, chair. That's why y'all can do whatever you want to do. I know what I'm doing. I'm staying in my yard. That you can do whatever. You lot can think you're right, chair. I give it 5 more years. You lot can do what you want, but don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't tell you, chair. Don't say I didn't tell you. And they tell you God is telling you to be more RADICAL. Yeah, they even use it. I saw people street in the wireless. Yeah, they love to do the whisper. They love to do the whisper. Like they do like different tones, so it's not monotone, like to keep you awake, because it's long hours of indoctrination. So there's different things in their voice, and then they slow down and they do intense looks and they say it's just about the way that you do it. And that is why we are here. We are here for God. We are here for God. It's all an act. You just got to be a good actor, man. That's all. You just got to, guys, it's just acting. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's what it is, all right? Some of them are genuine. Some of them think they're doing the right thing, but the systems are corrupt. Higher up. Hey, Ray, the systems are corrupt, chair. So it doesn't matter. I'm not saying, because I weren't a BAD person. Do you know what I mean? I think I was, I'm a good girl. You get it? But the system started to corrupt me. I got out at the right time. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let's get back to what I was saying. Hey, girl. So that pandemic opened my eyes, chair, because I was like, why do I want to leave? When I started looking at why am I seeing spiritual ABUSE? Why am I seeing cult? Why? Guys, it was like I felt like I was in a horror film. I felt like I was in an alternate reality. I've only just started to come out of, because I was in denial for a long stage. When you look at the grief stages, I was in, and this is a bit of advice for anyone who's supporting someone post-cult exit, a child, whatever. One thing that I would really recommend is the grief. Is it the grief model? Is it the grief model? Lucia, is it the grief model? Angie, is it the grief model by Kubler-Ross? The 5 stages of grief. The 5 stages of grief, because you'll kind of see parts of that, like in your loved one, your child, whatever. And I think it's important to understand that so that you can support them through those different stages, because I was in denial for a long time. I was in denial. I was like, there is no way that they have wasted 18 years of my life. There's no way. And that's why I was trying to do up sound doctrinal church, because I was like, no, I'm not going to prove to them that I'm going to go back to the world. And I'm just going to, go back to, I'm going to let the DEVIL get me. I'm going to still go. So I'm going to prove to them. I'm going to still go. So you see that people are doing it for them. They didn't do it for themselves. They just church cult hop because they got something to prove. And that's how you start getting into the entanglement of church cult hopping, because it's like that people can't survive without people. And when you're needy and desperate and this and that, it's like you always find out the hard way in life. That's why I don't need no one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ride solo, chair. It's like me and my youths, you get me? Like, I just ride solo. That, you know what, guys? It's the best way to be, chair. Because my kids have got me. My 8-year-old and my 11-year-old has got me more than anyone else, chair. Do you know what I'm saying? But it takes you a long time. Like, you know what? And that's why I don't get how these women, like, they've never given birth to a child, like, in these settings, and they're taking on the role of spiritual mother and starting to replace people's mother. Like, what? Are you having a laugh? It's so bad, honestly, how they can call themselves a human doing this to others. I know, it's absolutely terrible. I was thinking today, babe, on Instagram, because this is getting recorded, so I don't know if you want me to say your name, but I was thinking today, it's so mad the way they turn people, like the young people, against their parents, and the parents lose control. And by the time they're in there, it's just too late. It's just too late. By the time they clock it, it's too late. There's been too much indoctrination. Like, they got your child thinking that they're some type of spiritual parent, and yet you should honor your mother and father. Yeah, but they'll put that in there. But remember, everything to them is external. So they're not giving their parents the actual honor. They're giving them, like, I remember for Mother's Day and stuff, I transfer money. Like my ex-husband would transfer money to my mum. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, my mum's getting good piece of money like on Mother's Day. Like, so it's like there's a lot of manipulation, guys. There's a lot of manipulation. It's like you're the perfect doting daughter. My daughter's in church and she's married, and it's all a lie. It's all fake. They will say you're the only chosen one in your family. Oh yeah. When they are married up, 9 out of 10 is over. Yeah. Oh my gosh, can someone pin Ray's comment, because that is so true. Like that just got me. Like, oh my gosh, that's a throwback, that one. It's so inspiring to see someone overcoming this. The only way is up. Oh, thanks, babe. I'm an overcomer. Today, guys, when I went to my mental health appointment, the doctor was giving, like LP, like WOG. I started bugging out, man. I need to phone them and tell them they can't give me people like that. That for me was PTSD. I could tell that she goes. I could tell she attends. I could tell. When you just know. Even now I'm talking about it, I'm really traumatized. They specifically use David and Joseph as an example. They will say you are the only, so they say like you're the chosen one in your family, and you're like the first, and you've got to like, then they put like the pressure on you to like save all your family. Guys, it's mad. Oh my gosh, guys. And then they manipulate people because they know people are desperate in there. They want to get their family saved. Like, guys, people are coming from, like, when I've been hearing survivor stories, I'm actually like sitting there and I'm shocked, and I'm like, and the way they just talk is like nothing. Like, this trauma is like, but then I sometimes think that about my life as well. I think when you've been through so much trauma, you just, you know how it is, you just talk about it. Yeah. It just takes someone who's been through a lot of trauma as well to kind of, for it to like highlight, is what I'm saying, making sense. Yeah. When I hear what the survivors, like you see the survivors, they're real survivors. Like, the survivors are real life survivors in the cut. Like, that's why for me, like, it's an honor. Like, if a survivor wants to meet up with me or whatever, I'll try my best. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm meeting some real life survivors who have been through some real life ish, man. Like, it's like it's a miracle. Like, sitting there speaking to each other. It's that vibe. It is. Look at her. I threw my books away. Girl, some people, like, I put it in the recycling bin because I was like, because, one survivor, she sold it. She was selling hers online. She was like, yeah, man, I went and got a pedicure. She said she got a pedicure, yeah. And another thing she done as well, because she was encouraging me. She was like, oh, Leah, sell all your choir fits. Because like she was like, I had bare things that didn't have they still had the tags on, and because they just get you to waste money, like buy things that you don't like. It's all mad. The pandemic, my love. Do you know what? I haven't actually finished the pandemic, so I'll get into it. So basically, I was saying, I started to question, why do I want to leave my church? When I started to research on Google and everything, why am I seeing spiritual abuse and cults, guys? I'm not gonna lie to you, At first, I was like, nah. And to this day, I can't find the YouTube video, but it was some girl, and it sounded like First Love. It sounded like the cult, So I'm just like, no, this can't be real. So I'm watching bare of these videos now, like it's like true crime, when it starts, because I'm not thinking this is my life at this point. I'm just, guys, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know what was going on, chat. I was losing my damn mind. And I just remember one day I went to go and look at the characteristics of a cult. And let me get my little thing, man. And when I went to go and look at the characteristics of a cult, guys, no word of a lie to you, my cult was just staring right back at me. Like, even when I talk about it right now, it makes me feel like physically sick. Like, it was like my church was there in black and white. It was like a mirror. It was just staring back at me. And guys, I know this sounds really dramatic, but you lot know how I am. I am a dramatic person. And when people meet me in person, they're like, oh my God, she's really like that in real life. I really am like this. Guys, I tried to go into like my sister's room to like tell her what was going on. And guys, I just fell to my feet. I just felt like, you know, when you fall to your knees, it was like, guys, I can't even explain it. I just like, I didn't collapse. Like, maybe I did though, because it was an overwhelming feeling. And then when I fell like to my knees, yeah, then it was like this voice came, and it was like, because I'm now responsible for my sister's salvation. Do you get it? Because I invited her in. She's been living with us. Like, I'm responsible. If I get this wrong, my sister's going to HEOL, my husband's going to HEOL, my 2 daughters are going to, because I was the first one to get saved in the family. So when people say like you're leaving, it's not just a case of, oh, I'm just going to pack my bags and leave. Like, some people have their whole bloodline in there. Like, they got like 4 generations. My mom had 3 generations of her family in there. Me, my sister, and then her grandkids. So her 2 daughters and her grandkids share. So that's why I rate my mom differently. Like, you see my mom, yeah, my mom is like a different level of strength. And it's taken me years to realize it, but you know, I really do value my mom. I need to make sure I go down and see my mom, chair. She's such an angel. That's why I keep telling her, Mom, stop doing everything for everyone. And you know, like, just I keep telling her, like, make sure you're eating good, chair. You know, them ones. Anyway, I'm digressing. So anyway, had anyone else from the cult gathered it too? Yeah. Quite a lot of people are leaving, chair. This is what the whole like commotion and the whole buzz is, because you know, people are coming on and they're listening. Like, even on Instagram, like, do you know how hard it is to get followers and anyone to come on your live? Even 2 people I'm happy with, chair. People come in and out in it. But what I find with Insta is more people watch later, whereas with TikTok it's more like instant. Some of the apps, it takes like longer over time. That's just, but sometimes it could just go viral overnight. But with my thing, I don't mind, because some of these it only takes like a couple of people to just share it, and that's it. It's just, and then they what you got to realize in these systems, yeah, is they don't have a life. They don't have a life. Oh, thanks, Ray. They don't have a life outside of the cult. So, you know, because like I'm talking about this, this is going to be all they talk about, chair. So yeah, so people are clocking it. They are waking up, you know, and they are leaving. So basically, cult leaders on there doing up whatever. He's saying that the empire will not be destroyed. It will not be whatever. And it was like I just woke up. It was like an internal monologue. Oh, thanks, Faye. It was. I'm really lucky to have the support I have. I'm really lucky and grateful for everybody. You know, that all the survivors and all the people that, you know, speak their truth, and you know, behind the scenes, like whatever, support the thing. Like, I appreciate it in it, because it's hard. It's hard to relive the trauma, and you know, it does help coming on here and validating our experiences and things like that. But there's times when y'all have to hold the space for me. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's hard. It must be difficult, because it's difficult to hear survivors when they're crying and they're releasing their trauma on the live. My informants telling me people are leaving from the north side of their branches. Ooh, do you know what? And that's a confirmation. Ooh, thanks, Inez. Love you. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what, Joker? Yeah, you're right. And do you know what? That's also, do you know what? You see what you've just told me is a confirmation for something. And Joker, I'm gonna look at your message tomorrow, yeah, because this is just when I'm starting, because I need to, I think we need to talk, because there's and I've just seen a confirmation. There's something that's going in that I think I might discuss with you. And what you've just told me is confirmed, because I was speaking to a survivor earlier, and they were saying to me exactly the north. And I haven't, guys, the reason why I haven't even spoken about the north is for a reason, and everything will become clear really soon. That's even better, because they're isolated up in the north. Yeah, that's what, babe. Babes, I'm telling you, a lot of people are seeing the content, like the word is getting out there, and people are realizing they're waking up. Because when people like the reason why silence is compliance, because if people don't speak, then how are they going to hear? That's why we kept going back, because people leave and they're just silent, man. They just go and get on with their lives. They don't check for no one, boy. I get that some people are traumatized and they just want to move on and they want to forget that it ever happened. I get that. I get that. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the same token, like, how long was this going to go on for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how long? Because when I started speaking out, I didn't think, like, I just thought it was a cult, like a high control environment. And I thought they'd taken like a lot of my years, like indoctrinating me and just lying to me. And then, do you know what? When you come out, you start questioning everything. And Dag's got this ministry, yes, the Healing Jesus Crusade. And he goes around to like these little remote villages. Ciao. When I think about the money, just from the Healing Jesus, it used to be called Crusade. It's called Campaign now. Just from the Healing Jesus Crusade alone, yeah, like I actually do feel unwell, like talking about the thinking about the money, because there was a point when Dag was coming to London, like, I don't know, like maybe every couple of months. It was like every couple of months, and he was asking us for this money for the Healing Jesus campaign. And then he made these videos, and he was showing these videos of people risking their lives to go there. And, you know, by the time they're done showing you this video of all these kids, you know, starving and comorbidities, you know, growths growing out of people's, you know, it's so extreme. Even like, there's a video that North Londoners are smart. I don't really know much North people, you know, if I'm honest, but I got love for all the towns. You get me? Like, I don't think I'm going to talk about the Healing Jesus Crusade anymore. Oh, thanks, 34. I appreciate you, darling. He said one thing Leah's going to always do is look pretty. I look a mess. Thanks, babe. I was talking to my mum the other day, and I was like, oh, the survivors always say, oh, Leah, your skin, this, that, and I'm thinking, yeah. You too, babe. I said, Mum, I think people are seeing, you know, like my inner self, like, you know, the beauty within. Because I come on here looking a mess. You lot don't even understand. Anyway, you know, when I make it and that, then I'll, like, you know, come on and give you lot the nitty and gritty, like what I was really going through at the time. You know them ones. You lot. That's why you never know people's struggles, man. That's why the last thing we need is being hurled ABUSE on the roadside. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just struggling. We're just trying not to delete ourselves currently. Just trying to put food on the table, babe. Just trying to make it to the end of the month. Like, a lot of people are in survival mode right now, babes. Like, like people are on the edge. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We just need positive vibrations. Like, that's what we need. Like, positive vibes, man. All right. So, you know what, guys? I think I'm going to give you red flags through this book. All right. That's how I'm going to change it up, because the book's just, I mean, the book's the book, yeah. The book is the book, and the book is the book. They take advantage of that suffering to bring people in. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's true. They love to see, because they love to see people as well in that situation. Hey, Miss Kiko. Mira. He's got them all over the place, girl. He's got branches in India, Africa, Europe, USA. He's even got branches in Mozambique and Qatar. Child, he's got that. Listen, this guy is obsessed with empires, child. When I'm talking about my cult leader, yeah, you need to be thinking of, like, you know, Game of Thrones. You know, like the Tudors. You need to be thinking like dominion, power, taking over territory. You need to be thinking, you know, King Arthur. You know, when people were in the battlefield, y'all. Guys, I'm not even going to lie to you, yeah. You know, because I've had to be really good on the internet. But you know what? I'm really working on myself. I'm really loving this new leaf that I'm turning over. And it's just, sometimes that I just get so angry. I just just don't know what to do with myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine having ADHD and coming out of somewhere like this and like having to manage, having to regulate and work through your trauma, through anger. Advice for living with a cultist. Feel like I can only leave them in there. Oh. I just want to say, first of all, judgmental. I'm really sorry because it sounds really traumatic. I know when it's a family member, especially, it can be really difficult, especially like when it's a parent. And I know that a lot of survivors that have been, you know, grown up in these environments have said that they felt invisible. They felt like they didn't have a voice. They felt like their needs weren't met. It was always the needs of the cult before. I am going to say, like what I always say, okay, to people that are in there, you know, I can't sell a dream. I've got to keep it real, especially if they've been in these environments for years and years and years. You know, it takes about 3 weeks. I was really shocked to see that it takes 3 weeks for someone to be severely indoctrinated. Do you know what, guys? I think in a minute, I might be ghetto and put on the quiche real quick in a minute. I just think it'll be all right if I disappear for a second, guys, and go and put on the quiche in a minute. But I am going to answer your question. I'm so sorry. I'm pretty certain I've got ADHD, chair. So I'll be talking. Do you know why? Because I feel people's pain so deeply. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine if that's like a parent, like your mum or something, guys, and they're just severely indoctrinated, like, you know, and you've just seen them go through this cycle of just, you know, getting ABUSED'd by this cult, especially like when they're a vulnerable adult, and you know, it's really hard. But I would say, first of all, take care of you, take care of your mental health, because, you know, the truth is some of them just might not leave. And, you know, trying to speak to them is like, you know, your head against it can't get in when they're indoctrinated. The only thing I would say is just be there for, you know, as and when, if they do come out. If it's like a sibling, like a sister, like a brother or a sister, I would say just don't be the enemy. Because they've got, as you can see from this, they've got very RADICAL doctrines. So they're already saying that the cult should be the proton, the first, give your youth to God. Da, da, da. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no talk of family. There's no room for anything else. So when you come in and you say something against the setting, it's like your public enemy number one. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So don't be the enemy. They're already doing us versus them. And if you're further isolated or further pushed away, then they're not going to have anyone. But what I would say, Juju, is if it's affecting your mental health, is it like are you sharing a room, or is it a thing where you're just in the same yard? Because like I say to people, look, if you're in a yard with these type of people, yeah, the vibration, like, it's a low. They live in a lot of fear, like, you know what, this is what I was meditating on today. I was like, rah, boy, you don't get anyone more superstitious than these type of people, these like Christians. Like, they'll say, like, they get a number or something and it says 666. Oh, brother, you take that number, or you take that. That they really believe that number is, like, you know what I mean? It's very like immature, like very like, oh, look, it's my sister. They live in fear and paranoia. Yeah, can you pin that, Joker? Tony, I wanted to go to Auntie Fee's for Carnival. Are you on it? I need to ask her.
Why did you start smiling?
Hi, babe. It's my sister, everybody.
Why did you start smiling?
Why did I start smiling?
Yeah.
Because you requested. I'm happy that you... Can't I be happy that you requested?
No.
Why not? This is my posh sister, everybody.
You're actually really annoying.
What? Am I really annoying?
I think someone's been watching you that I used to be friends with. Don't say their name. You know the girl that said, you know the girl that said, a moment on the lips like I'm on the hips.
Oh, is it? I thought that was what you were going to say.
Yeah, I think she's been
like
watching.
When she said
I've been stalking her. I found everything anyways.
Is it the one that said when you're, you know what, it's the ghetto?
Yeah. She's actually so problematic.
Why is she watching?
Huh?
Why is she watching?
I don't know. I think she's changed because she's like really into like spiritualism now and stuff like that, like
Oh.
holistic lifestyle since having the baby.
Oh, that's
So I
nice
think-
for her. I'm happy for her.
Yeah, okay. She literally made my life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought we agreed, though, that there was parts of her that were lit. Oh, we didn't. Oh, sorry, girl.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but she created several people to have eating disorders. So
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did forget about that. Yeah.
there was a whole
That's
podcast
true.
about it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you did say that. Yeah. Sorry, girl. I forgot about that.
What were you talking about today?
Let's just go in it. I think this is one of the newer books, Spiritual Dangers, best-selling author. I was talking about the proton. Do you remember that doctrine, like a seek ye first the kingdom of God? The first in it is the proton. So
I think wasn't he? Yeah, he used that, but he used it to talk about like giving the first of your fruits as well, like the first of your money, the first of everything. So it's like not good enough. Let's say if you had like essentially £500, right, and it was tight for you that month, and you were going to get the £500 at the end of the month. They kind of say to give your money should be given, like you should give everything you can first, and then you work it around that. So you don't budget affairs around what you're supposed to give, what's mandatory. So like, I don't know how to articulate this. Let's say you have a parents even that you need to attend to, right? But they have a choir rehearsal. They would genuinely try to convince you that going to the choir rehearsal is more imperative than going to the choir rehearsal. It's more imperative than going to the parents' evening. So you need to kind of fix that parents' evening around the choir rehearsal, whether it's you leave a bit early or you ask to rearrange the date. You must use all exhaustive because that's your proton. It's not just financial. It's like your your whole entire fiber. Sorry, something crazy is going on here. Can you get that? But yeah, the first fruits, yeah. It's taken widely out of context as well. It's quite sad because then you start to think that you have to give everything to this building and these people first. Like little things like being like, I remember it was my dad's 50th birthday. Well, actually it wasn't, it was his 49th, but I didn't really talk to him, so I didn't know when his birthday was. But I thought it was his 50th birthday, right? So I tried to take him out for dinner, which was a doctrine that they spoke about, like honoring your father and honoring your mother, all this stuff. And I got berated by the choir leader for wanting to take him out. I was quite new to like being a consistent member. I hadn't been in the choir for a very long time, and I didn't have any solos or any significant part at all. Like as in, like it was so crazy to me because like I'm not giving anything to this choir. Like I've actually given nothing. Like I'll be real. I mined lyrics. Like I didn't know the lyrics. I wasn't even singing, and she literally berated me, like ripped into me. I was thinking, whoa, what the hell? Like this is insane. But they had that whole doctrine of the first fruits that you have to give everything to them first and foremost, and then it's like other things kind of fall out of it. It's really sad because you got people that don't know how they're paying their mortgages, but they'll give their offering and their tithes.
It's
like
so true,
crazy
man.
work. I don't. Looking back on it, I feel sick to my stomach that was actually a thing, like a genuine thing.
They've robbed people of a lot of opportunities, man.
And even like the mindset of, okay, I understand, like, you know, you're telling people to not take out a mortgage and stuff like that, which is, I guess in some respect, good, because like mortgages, it is a big cost. You do need to think about what you're doing before you get, you know, tied down to one for real, because a lot of people, like, especially, let's say, I don't know, you got a mortgage out of someone that you thought you was going to be forever, and then they divorce you, and I was lumbered with this like big financial burden. Oh, it's okay. You're screwed. But they were like saying it in the sense of it was all to benefit the ministry, because they know that a mortgage is something that you can't say to someone, oh yeah, I'm not going to pay my mortgage. The bank would literally take your house back, like you'll be made homeless. So they want you to have just enough money so that you can give freely to them, but not enough financial commitments that it takes you away from being able to, like, I guess, support them. So like a mortgage is seen as like a negative thing, because you might not be able to give your tithe so much, so you might not be able to give as much of a tithe as you would be if you were just like renting somewhere cheaper. Like I remember they literally used to preach this thing of, when you get married, just rent a room, sleep on the floor on a mattress. And I used to think like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. Like, yeah, like I will sleep on the floor with my husband on a mattress. Like, that's okay. I'll just rent a room because love is all that matters, and we'll give our money to the church. And like, I look back on that time and I think, was I like on hardcore class A's or like opioids? Because what the hell, that goes against my whole ethos, as my very fiber of who I am. Anyone who knows me knows that I would not be caught unalived. I was going to say something else, but I've learned from my lives. Unalived on a mattress with someone. Like, am I, what do they call them? A midnight ballerina? I think that's even my spicy accountant. Am I some sort of worker? Like, to be living, like, as in, like, why are you promoting to be sleeping and living on mattresses? And there's a bunch of people like that as well.
Yeah,
I feel like if you can't afford to rent somewhere, then maybe you should really reevaluate if you should be thinking about getting married. But they push that so that you're solidified and you're not going anywhere within the cult. So like it I don't know. If I'm going off,
it traps you. It traps you in there. Like that's the main way that they trap like people that and that's in the book, like the spiritual dangers, like, you know, to flee from fornication. So it's like the answer is get married.
I don't think they really care about that. I'll be so real, because I think they care about that to a certain aspect, but it's not about that. Church, I don't think it's that, because they know what's going on there. They literally want people to get married so that because it stabilizes. He says it in his Shabby
Mega Church,
mantra. It stabilizes the member. That's why. It's not because of yes, okay, he might use that as kind of like a little underlying thing, but that's not the main reason why he does it. Is to stabilize it, because even within the marriages, it's like there's a certain requirement. You have to be within the church, or the husband or wife has to be willing to come to the church. Like, they don't like people who are taken away. Like there was quite pivotal members that married outside of the church, and they were just excommunicated. Like, you see the treatment, like that woman the light-skinned girl who you were in the group with, when she found her husband outside of the church, they literally excommunicated for her. It was like she was on garden leave. Like, she wasn't allowed to leave the court, but she had no. But it's true. It was a spiritual.
No, because that's what happened.
If you have any corporate babes in here, you know what garden leave is. I mean, garden leave is excellent if you want to, get out of your job. But
what's that, Tony Lee? Can I just be on the side for a minute? And they're asking questions. Have you got time to do all that for me on the live or not?
Yeah. Do you know what garden leave is? Don't you?
No, I'm just laughing because it sounds posh.
You don't know what garden leave is?
No, we don't. No, we don't, Tony Lee. Can you please tell us?
Garden leave is when, like, there's certain jobs, if you're dealing with, like, if you're dealing with confidential information and stuff, you're basically, like, let's say you want to quit, they'll say, okay, cool, you quit, but we're putting you on garden leave, which means that you can't come to the office, you can't use any of your equipment, you still get paid for, like, let's say 3 or 4 months, but you can't leave, you can't do anything. So it's sort of like a lockdown. They ostracize you, but you're not allowed to go anywhere. But it's a
so they like is it like they shelf you, that type of vibe?
Yeah, but you're not allowed to go anywhere. So you're not allowed to go to the office. You're not allowed to have access to your emails. You're not allowed to do anything. Like,
look, Black Girl Mind has also said that it's the mortgage is also for missionaries, so that they can't uproot you because they like to send people out. That's also a good point.
That's another thing. That whole missions thing is so problematic. They just send any and like it's scary because no one's DBS checked, no one's like anything. You're sending these people out to other countries to work with vulnerable children, vulnerable people. And then you're bringing other people over from countries who haven't been DBS checked, who might have a plethora of convictions in their country that we have no idea about. And you're just letting them go and be missionaries with in certain ministries. Like, a lot of the time they put them in the children's ministries or the youth ministries to help the church build. And it's like,
But what about the ones that are knowingly having affairs and knowingly doing stuff in these cults, and then they move them? They transfer them.
It's like I really feel like he's just built his whole thing off like the how the government works. So, like, when you've got like someone who's in power, let's say like good old Bojo Boris Johnson, he had his whole little flings or whatever, they just shift you around from position to position. They just maybe shift you from like a really prominent role to like a lesser role, whatever, so they take the heat off you for a little bit. You might lose like one of your duties, but you're still getting paid in bonuses and stuff like that. And that's exactly what they do within the cult. So like, okay, they might strip you of a title, but then they're still having you in positions of power. So they might say, okay, you're no longer a pastor of the church, but you're going to be the pastor of the youth church in, I don't know, Colchester or whatever. And it's crazy because it's like, why would you still allow someone like that to be ministering to people? How is that a thing? Like, they're actually dangerous to society. Like, they've been sleeping with a plethora of people from the congregation, minors by the way, and you're allowing them to just, I don't know, just change church and you think it's okay.
That's why I tell you, I'm not going to say the name, but you know the one that we all know of that was sleeping with quite a few girls in the setting,
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about,
Yeah.
The thing is, do you remember how they were pushing for him to be the youth leader, the youth pastor, for him to be doing up praise and worship and this, that, and the third? And if it wasn't for him being like, no, I don't want to do that, I just want to sing, he would have been a leader, sleeping with the women. 100%, do you understand?
100%.
It was because he was like defiant that no, because it's like you just have to be a man in there, Jer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's quite funny. It's quite funny the way it all works, but it's very, 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 very corrupt. Like, there's no other way to really justify it. It's very, very corrupt. There was something I wanted to tell you, but I forgot. Like, something happened that I saw, and I was like, oh my gosh, did you see this? But
what was it on the net? Do you want me to give you the next point for this thing then?
Huh?
Do you want me to give you, because I'm basically talking about spiritual dangers, and like how the cult leader manipulates people through the false doctrine. So he's got here, Jesus rejects all those who put their family, business, or personal wealth before the family of God. So you see, he's even called it like, God, Jesus will reject you.
Because it's like, it's really crazy because it's like, this will actually instill fear into people that they can't love their family, because they go on the complete like opposite. And I think they genuinely don't want you to love their families, because I remember our pastor anyway, he used to say like, you can always tell when someone's in the honeymoon phase of their relationship because they hold hands and they're like really loving. As soon as you get to like 20 years plus, you're not doing that. And I genuinely believe that like marriage became like this sort of work, or like, this sort of work colleague sort of thing, because that's all I was seeing in this church, like people who were just like didn't love each other, went sour. And then I'm listening to stupid people like Jada Smith who were like, you remember when she said about the whole her and Will's, even before I knew that their relationship was like,
the entanglement,
when she was talking about like, you go through like this phase where you're like brothers and sisters, and then you're this and that. So I like had this whole warped perception because of the examples that were in front of me, that like, okay, you genuinely fall out of love with your person and you just stick like my
marriage was terrible as well, Tony.
That's because of how they taught you guys. Well, obviously there's other things like personal things like between you two, like wasn't in a marriage, but like the main thing is, I believe more's that sort of stuff in there, is that they don't allow you to love your spouse. They don't. You can't. You're in an environment where the leaders don't love each other. I don't see any marriages where they genuinely love each other. Do you? I don't. And so that's why they're able to say those things like, if you put yourself like your family before this and that, Jesus will reject you, because it's like they don't promote loving. Everything's like a partnership. It's like I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. My words are like effacing from me, but it's an arrangement. It's not actually like done out of love.
You're explaining really well, babe.
It's really sad, because it's like, if you look at our pastors, then their relationship dynamic, I didn't ever see them kiss. I didn't ever see them hug one another. You don't have to be like going full throttle in front of one another, but like a little bit of romance, And then since coming out of this place, I'm seeing like healthy people in committed relationships. I mean, not everyone has to be in a relationship. I don't think relationships are for everyone, but like, you know what I like, the examples I'm seeing, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like, you can love your person after 10 years. You can love someone after 20 years. Like, these are just really, crazy examples we were seeing in the extreme, because they were taught to like just be in an arrangement.
Yeah, it's all arrangements in there.
And
another
contract. Yeah, that's exactly it, Faye. It's a contract. Yeah, that's how they view it. And it's like, it's literally just to stabilize you. A contract to stabilize you, so that if either one of you guys start to question things, you're less likely to leave, because it's less likely that both of you will want to leave. At least one of you will think, oh no, like we have to stay because I'm having a great time with the pastor, or I'm getting, and another thing they do is, if like, let's say, okay, for example, when Leah was showing signs that she was going to leave, they started to promote her husband out of nowhere. Like, oh, we want him to be a pastor. We want him to do this. When they feel like you're going, they then start to like promote the other spouse, and it causes further triangulation within the marriage. But then it also causes you to like stay, because then the other person gets enticed by these like big roles and commitments they're throwing in their face. They start to think, oh, actually, maybe I do want this, and it's like they love bomb them into kind of staying. It's sad. It's really, really sad and scary, actually.
Cody, have you got time to talk about the chapter, The Danger of Fornication?
What's that about, though?
So basically, Dad's talking about how fornication corrupts and destroys the church, and he's saying that fornication is disobedience. Fornication will destroy your soul. Fornication will destroy your body. You make covenants with all sorts of people, so it's a lot of like faith there. So he's got here Proverbs 6:32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
But then there again, that's adultery. That's the scripture's taken way out of context. Adultery is having an affair with someone's spouse or whatever, like, knowingly, like you go, like, and like there's layers to everything, but it's like you can't just take things. I don't know, because I don't really feel like he cares about the people. I think he uses these things again as a way to just keep people in, to control them. Because then if less people are fornicating, then more people, that means more people are going to be getting married. That means more people are stable. That means more people won't leave. That means more money, more bums on seats, more family that will be born into it. The legacy stays. That's all it is. Because people want to grow their churches, right? People want to, like, I'm talking about healthy places now, or like whatever it is they want to grow them. Thank you so much. They want to grow whatever it is that they're trying to start, right? But in a healthy environment, they're not obsessed over it, if that makes sense. So they're not like, oh my gosh, if I don't have 50 people here, I'm a failure or whatever. They're happy with their 3 or 5 people. If they want more, they might say, oh, let's go talk to more people, whatever, or they'll welcome more people. They won't shun them away, but like they're happy with their 3 or 5 people. He actually creates things to, like, it's like if it's not growing, then it's like you're getting reprimanded for it. Like his whole thing is built off like rapid growth on sustainability. But it's like everything he does is to make sure that there's bums on seats.
A constant drive for recruitment.
It's spiritual bribery. Like it's sad. It's really sad, because everything he does, you can always relate it back to, oh, you want more members, marriages, like jobs, the types of jobs he tells people to get, the types of places he tells people to live, the types of food
he tells them to study in uni,
music he tells people to listen to, the way he tries to mold everyone's character. Like he'll be like, oh, you have to listen to be cult, like know about golf and know about this and know about the stuff. What if I don't want to know about the solar system? What if I don't want to know about Neptune? What if I don't want to know that Jupiter is the fastest spinning planet, which you should know, actually, by the way, if you're into general knowledge. What if I don't want to know about Saturn's ring? What if I don't want to know these things? What if I don't like golf? What if I don't know, bring it out there, want to go to a run club on a Sunday? Huh? Can you hear me?
No, I'm asking on Instagram if they can hear you in YouTube. Let me know if you can hear her in the comments.
Oh my gosh, you're on YouTube. You didn't tell me this.
Oh, sorry, I'm on YouTube.
On too many lives, man. This is I like it when it was just on the TikTok.
Sorry,
I'm intimidating.
Yeah, I'm on Insta. And
not less intimidating.
Oh, sorry, babe.
I can't hear you now.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
It sounds a bit distant, like a bit far away.
No, it doesn't. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It felt.
What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
No, but if you're not comfortable because it is pre-recorded, then just
no, it's all right.
No, because I don't want you to feel pressured.
PSA?
Sorry, babe. I don't want you to feel pressured. You know. But I don't think you've said anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't care. It's all about quantity over quality as well. So like they want numbers, and they want you to keep on having like more numbers to top the stuff. It's really sad. Like, you won't be a leader if you don't bring 10 people. I remember that pressure. Sunday used to, like, oh my gosh, my anxiety was so high. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with anxiety medication or how the medication works in the UK, right? But we have like what I like to call a medical crisis, or it actually has been referred to a medical crisis, right? It is so hard to get medicine for like I'm talking about life-threatening diseases, yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I don't even mean to laugh or cry, but like people who actually need like dialysis, they are not able to get access to their medication. People very close to me that need like like folic acid and stuff, they're not able to access their medication. So it's very hard. My anxiety was so bad, right? And I didn't know this at the time when I was going. My doctor at 19 years of age was like, oh yeah, I'll give you diazepam. So I'm taking it, and I'm thinking, whoa, this diazepam is really, it's spinning my head top. And then someone who used to be an addict came up to me and was like, I'm close friends with this guy. He was like, I was telling him about the medication that I'm on and how I might go back on it again, like just like a couple of years later. And he was like, you got prescribed diazepam at 19. What the hell? But that's the level of stress that they put me under. Sorry, I should have prefaced that with what I was gonna make the point of. That's the level of anxiety that I had from Sunday services. It was so much that I couldn't, like, I'd be fainting. I'd be like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I can't even articulate it in words, like how bad,
like the
how
pressure.
bad it really was. It was like,
it was bad, man.
Yeah, my body was in constant fight or flight. Like, it was awful. Sundays felt like I didn't want Sundays to come. It felt like a chore. I was like, okay, I just want to enjoy the Saturday. Even Saturday felt like, okay, countdown to like doomsday. Got to get it all together. Got to do call center. Got to do this. Got to do that. And Sunday came, and it's like, oh, I have to have my number. So you're on the phone calling people on the Sunday in the South, like, yo, where are you? Like, I'll buy you Nando's, I'll buy you this, I'll buy you that. Just pimping myself out. And you're panicking because you've got these pastors saying that if you don't have 10 or more people, you're no longer a leader, you're no longer this, you're no longer worthy. Like, it's really sad. Really sad. Emmanuel really broke me. Like, he made me feel like my efforts were not, it was like nothing I could do was enough. No.
That's the thing. It feels like it's and that's what I think breaks you. That nothing that you ever do is enough.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's what what's so crazy, Tony? I've been saying this like for the whole past week. Like, when I first did my video, I was just saying nothing's ever good enough. That was just it. Like, if you've been in one of these cults and you're hearing someone just say that nothing was ever good enough, like, imagine giving your best and it's not good enough, like how that breaks you as a person. It's deep, isn't it?
You're kind of like far from a phone.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Can people hear me on TikTok?
To me, it's like, I don't know, maybe other people can hear you, but it sounds like,
is it a bit distant?
It sounds almost like you're using your laptop.
Oh, maybe it's the is that better?
I know someone said no, it's fine, but to me, I don't know.
No, it might be the sound like through the laptop. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Better? Is that better?
You go on the chat because I probably
no, wait. Is that better now?
Yeah, that sounds better to me.
Okay, all right. It's because it was.
Oh, she can't hear either. Yeah. It's definitely your sound.
It's better now. I think it's because I had it on the thing. Thanks for telling me that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is. It's like nothing's ever good enough, and it's that feeling of when you give your best. And it's like you've tried really hard, you've done everything, and it's like you bring 5 people, that's good. Bring 10, you can bring 10. You can bring 20 more.
Also it's like I know some people will be able to relate. If you have like a really like narcissistic parent, right, or family, and then it's like you do everything to win their love over. You might like be, I guess, quote unquote better child than your other siblings. You might cook for your family. You might give money. You might do everything, but your parents just don't seem to appreciate it. But then your other sibling could, I don't know, freaking well do something so like irrelevant. They're all like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. That's what it's like in that cult. So they will choose who they want to like elevate, who they want to kind of show.
We can't hear you. Yeah, now
who they want to show favor to, but then they will shelf everyone else. just completely shelf you, completely disregard you, and you will never reach a certain point. You will never be able to do certain things. You will never be good enough. And they do this thing where they like, I like to call, I don't know why, it's because of you, like spiritual edging. So they will get you to a point where you think, oh, I'm going to actually be something. And then they slap it in your face and they're like, actually, no, you're not. And you kind of get off on this whole thing of, oh, maybe I will be able to do it, maybe I won't. And then you convince yourself that actually I enjoy just being here and not getting anything from it. I enjoy the exploitation. So you start to actually like to be exploited. You start to kind of become a quote unquote willing participant in it. Similar to how, what is it exactly like a gang? Similar to how children who experience CCE or CSE feel like they're complicit in the crimes because they're, I guess, quote unquote willing participants. But then when you really break down to them the exploitation and you really break down to them how they're actually a victim, they can't comprehend that because they think, oh no, but I wanted to do this, I wanted to be a part of this, I wanted to, but it's actually because this has been layers and years worth of exploitation and manipulation that you even got to that point. Because if someone broke it down to you and said, hey, would you like to give this random man in Ghana all your money, never be able to sleep with your wife, except the fact that you won't be able to have any sort of career, you won't be able to ever love your children, you have to work according to the modern, I don't know what you say, modern Labour Acts, you're considered a overworked individual. I don't want to say the words because I don't want you to get banned. But you know what I mean by that, an unpaid labourer, for over 24 hours a week. I'm pretty sure a person will be like, I don't want that. I don't, want to do that. Same way I like to talk to like the young people I used to work with. You think that you're complicit in this because you're getting money and you said, yeah, I'll go to a bando. But if someone sat you down and said, hey, do you know what? You're actually going to have to stuff things up your bum. And you're going to potentially have to make love to people in the bandos to get out of crimes. And you're going to have to message people and you're going to be at their beck and call every single night, every single day. You'll never have a family of your own. You're actually going to stink. You're going to stink of absolute doo-doo when you go to these places and you're not going to have access to a shower or running water for months on end. I'm pretty sure that child will look at that and think, I don't want that. And you're also going to be in incredible debt. So you're going to think you're making money, but actually you're making nothing more than a minimum wage job. They're going to be like, I don't want that. But because of the manipulation, because they see lifestyle, because they see people who are in positions they shouldn't be, and these men who have completely destroyed their life, who are 35 plus, who can't get out of the cycle now, who are trapped by the trap, who have no family, who have all these kids with several different women, and don't know how to raise their own children because they were never raised themselves. They then aspire to be like that and they think, oh yeah, but you've got the car, you've got this, you've got that. When every day they're looking over their shoulder, they're not knowing whether they're going to go back inside for 6 more years or if they're going to be out to see their daughter's first birthday. Like, they're just kind of blindsided by, like, I guess all the smoke and mirror of it. And that's the same thing in this cult as well. We're blindsided by it because, oh yeah, but everyone who goes to, they change their life around, they get married, they get this. You look at it, it's a loveless marriage. You can't even enjoy the children that you're with. You can't even enjoy the money that you make. You can't even enjoy the changed lifestyle that you're actually the changed lifestyle that you're actually living. Like you're trapped. You're trapped in the trap. You're trapped in the spiritual trap. That's the real spiritual danger. I want to talk about spiritual danger. That's the real spiritual danger.
You're right.
That's the real betrayal. That's the real, we should incorporate that into your little book. Have that as a bestseller. We should incorporate how you're convincing people not to get mortgages purely so that they can be, entrapped within your cult.
There's so many decisions people have made based off what Dag has said, like taking his, because we literally take on board what he says as like the do you know what I mean? The infallible truth.
Was like my actual gospel. Like he made a comment one year, and said, "Oh, you should always wear black in an interview." I used to go to interviews wearing black, like black on black, like. Oh, it was awful. Like I was going to a funeral because this man said that you should always wear black in an interview. So like I always thought I'd fail an interview if I wear something that's not black on black or crazy. Like what does he know? What jobs has he done outside of his failed medical career? What jobs has he done? No. And I'm taking his job like literally lapping it up. as if it's, you know, the tastiest meal I've ever tasted. It's insane. Like, he didn't even have to have proof in the pudding. He could literally say, you know, you shouldn't take, and he did, you shouldn't take the jab, you shouldn't do this. Have you worked on the jab? Have you worked on anything with these medical professionals? Where are you getting your information from? You're just plucking it from thin air and telling us these things, and we're not even going and doing the research ourselves because we're not allowed to research anything. We just have to take what he's saying as oath. Same way when he's telling people about who to marry. If dad recommends someone for you to marry, you best believe you're marrying that person. Same with your pastor at a more like local level. Your pastor, you know, told you to marry someone, you're going to marry that person.
Yeah.
I nearly ended up in a marriage or an engagement or whatever I should say, actually, because it probably wouldn't have led to marriage. But like, with someone that my pastor recommended purely because he said, go for this, you know, this is my gift to you. I don't know this person. I don't want to be with them. Like, not that there's anything particularly wrong with them, but like,
there was nothing wrong with him. All right, babe.
Huh?
You said there was nothing wrong with him. There was loads.
No, as in like, you know, like looks wise. Like if he approached me in the street, let's say I didn't know him, I might not have necessarily been like, oh my gosh, like you're a howler. I might have just been like, okay, like I'm not giving you my number. I don't have, you know, time for that.
You're kind,
like,
chair.
It was the fact that I didn't want to. It wasn't something that I necessarily wanted. I didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't want him. That's just my decision, and I felt like I had to want him because my pastor said so. This is a good choice. You need to want him. Like, what the heck is that? The person I'm going to marry the rest of my life. I just have to want him because this is just a good choice. I should go for him.
That was a mad season. I can't even lie. I weren't even with it. I just couldn't believe that it was happening. I was just like, no, like we were not having it though. But we still had to explore it because the pastor said it. That's the point. We had to entertain it as an option because the pastors had, you know, recommended him, and that was who they were saying should be your beloved. And that's exactly how it happens.
I was actually your unpaid PA. You owe me working hours.
I do.
You actually owe me working hours.
I do.
And that's another thing. All the leaders have little PAs as well.
Go on, explain it. What is that?
So like they'll have people who they delegate tasks to and stuff because the expectation is just $2,000. You can't do everything alone. So every leader, no matter how like big or small they are, they'll rise up other people to kind of take on their burden. So it's like you're seeing, I guess, a direct example of how they're treated by the pastor. So it's like it kind of filters down to how Dag treats his staff is how they'll treat their staff, how they'll treat their staff, how they'll treat them. So it then becomes at a local level. So like someone like Leah, for example, who's being treated like that from her pastors, will then treat someone like me, who's in her committee, who's in her PA, like that. And then I'll treat the person, I guess, who's helping me help Leah like that as well. So it just trickles down. And that trickles and seeps down into like family dynamics and relationships and work dynamics and everything, and it becomes really toxic. That's why you've got a high rate of divorces. Let's talk about your divorce rate in First Love. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about how there were people that were literally having shorter marriages than Kim Kardashian. Do you know how crazy that is? 72 days, you're having shorter marriages than that. You know how insane that is? I mean, more power to that person who left after a week and was strict and said, you know what, I'm actually getting a divorce. More power to you because that is actually a boss move. But like, there is a real issue there that needs to be addressed if you're having marriages that can't withstand a couple weeks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Do you remember when like how many, I don't even know, it was like 10 plus of them got divorced? Remember, they were getting divorced like 2 in a year, and then Bishop Richard made a new rule: you had to be dating for 2 years.
Yeah, so you had to date for, so it was 18 months. So you had to date. So I think the whole thing was you date for 6 months, and then you do beloved counseling for 6 months, and then you do marriage counseling for a further 6 months. Is that 18 months? 6, 12, 17?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 18 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how it works. So you'd be basically like friends for 6 months, beloveds, straight as you do as your beloved counseling, then it's marital counseling, and then you have to marry within, I think you have like, they like to say 6 months. Within that 6 months, you have to marry after you finish your marriage counseling. And I guess off the cuff, that does sound great. It's like they've got a structure to things. They're doing counseling, they're doing this, but it's all to control you. There's no like loophole. There's no, like I've met someone organically. I want to take a couple years to get to know them because I don't necessarily want to have kids for someone I've known for 6 months. Or, there's no thing of I just want to date. You say you're just dating in the chat. Oh my gosh, you'll be labeled a harlot. As in like, oh yeah, I'm going to Nando's with Dean this week, and then I'm going out to Paris with Aaron next week, and they will literally say to you like, yeah, you've lost the plot. Like you're tarnishing yourself. You've lost this simple dating. You've lost the plot.
They'll call you a Jezebel.
Yeah,
and that's why
really
people are getting married like after 2 seconds. And the thing is, it happens so quick. Like the guy, that's what I was saying. Like guys don't even come in who necessarily believe. They just have to be a man, come for 6 months, be an usher, just serve the most basic. They don't want them to burn. They don't want them to end up fornicating. So people should get married quickly.
No, but they don't. But the thing is, they know that most of the people who are there are doing that anyways when they're in the beloved stage, and they know that. They know that that's what's happening. I really think it's because they want people to marry fast. Because for example, if you as a woman say, do you know what? I actually don't want to get married and I don't want kids. I just don't think I want that. I just want to maybe live a life where I'm just serving God or whatever, or I'm talking about in that environment, by the way, serving God, just coming here, coming out. They will literally look at you like you're the devil reincarnated. Like how can you say this? How can you want these things for yourself? How can what about decentering men? You cannot decenter men in that cult. Sorry. Every 2 minutes, marriage, shoved down my throat like a 6-incher. I don't want to be gagging on that right now. I want to just go to church and maybe hear about God. How about that? I don't want to hear 24/7. You want a Coca-Cola girl. You don't want a spaghetti boy. You want a fine girl that will wake you up with some good can you say head? Yeah, brain, knowledge. Yeah, it's insane. How about we just talk about Psalms? How about we just read the Psalm and we call it a day, babe, without you going for every single little line and relating it back to why, 1, we should be married, or 2, we should be giving our tithe. How about we just talk about the Bible? How about we just talk about God? How about we just say, today we're just going to read from the book and not read from spiritual dangers? How about that? How bizarre. How about we say, you know what? I've woken up and I've got a little treat for you guys. We're going to have a 30-minute service. How about that? How about we say, do you know what? We've implemented a new rule that if you don't shower, you can't dance. How about that? How about we say, do you know what? We're going to stop being narcissistic and forcing everyone to marry people that they don't want. You can decide who you marry. But that sounds crazy. Or do you know what? We're not going to tell you not to get a mortgage. We're going to let you come to that decision. Or do you know what? You don't have to be an art student. You don't have to be a medical student. You can pick whatever job you want. Or do you know what? How about this? You're sick on a Sunday? You don't have to tell the pastor. You just don't have to turn up. How about that? And the thing is, you people will come on here and say, oh, it's not a cult. But what I've said is actually revolutionary for your church. That is scary. Can you imagine? That's actually a revolutionary for simple things. That is revolutionary for your church. Like, as in, you could not just not come out on a Sunday. You could not just not show up and not be berated or not be literally removed from 50 group chats if you didn't show up on a Sunday. You could not say, do you know what? I'm actually sick, so I can't come today, without trying to get cover or trying to arrange this or trying to arrange that, or not be literally on your sick bed. That was a woman. Sorry, that was a woman. It was an end of life. Sorry, I didn't even mean to. The babe should have been in a hospice. A hospice. You know what hospice is? Do you people know what palliative care is? She really should have been in a hospice, and she was there doing work that she really did not need to be doing. Yes, serve God, do whatever you want to do, but the pressure that was on her, was insane. And she's actually end of life. She passed away not too many months after we came back to the church. It was very scary, and it's this is how they treat people who they know are end of life. I don't even think, at least company companies will give you a little 2 months off. You know, companies are toxic. Like, you can literally say to them, hey, I'm having a bone marrow transplant. And they'll be like, all right, well, we'll give you you've only got annual leave for 2 weeks, but we'll spend the other 2 unpaid. At least you get your cheeky 4 weeks off of, your job. There, do you think you can say I'm taking on 4 consecutive weeks because, I'm starting new chemotherapy? Sorry.
It's true.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely
It's
preposterous.
absolutely true, though. What you're saying is so
Because
real.
I'm not using fake facts. I'm actually, what have you done? I'm actually like, oh my God.
Do you have to go?
No, it's okay. There you go.
But what she's saying is so true. This is a lot more common, guys, than we think. You can't be ill in there. You can't take off any time, man. They'll just.
And the fact that you need maternity leave as well when you're pregnant. I remember you telling me that.
4 weeks.
You were like, when I lived with you first, and you were like, oh yeah, I'm going on maternity leave soon. So I'm thinking, first of all, you look so small that I thought, when she told me she's 6 months, I thought you had 6 months left. I'll never forget that confirmation. Like, yeah, I'm 6 months. And I was like, oh, you got 6 months left? You're like, no, I'm 6 months pregnant. I was like, what the hell? Because you're so sick. Yeah, say hello then.
Hello.
She's being shy.
Love you.
And then you.
Yeah.
And you said that. Yeah, you can see her. You said that. Say hello. You said you're going on maternity leave soon as well. I think you were like 9 months or whatever. You had a couple weeks left. But you were really sick during that pregnancy. And I thought you were talking about work. And then I realized you're not working. So what? You were saying you're going on maternity leave from this church? Like, what do you, are they giving you an F1 form? Are they giving you your NHS exemption card? Like, what are they providing you that you need to give in maternity notice? What is that? Oh yeah, she's not. Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah. If you're giving birth, I'm sorry, most women aren't leaving the house for at least 6 months. That might sound dramatic. That might sound, a bit like, oh, whatever. I'm talking about to actually reintegrate into society. Yes, you've got the odd ones who want to be doing up the most, saying, oh, I'm going to Pilates at 2 weeks postpartum. But 6 months, yeah, most women are readjusting into society. They're in a cocoon. They've just got out, although the newborn phase is 2 months. 6 months is really where I think the newborn ends, because your child is probably still waking up. They've got no sleep schedule, and they still have to sleep in the same room with you until the first 6 months. So if they can't sleep independently, I'm sorry, they're not an independent baby, and they should not be considered out of newborn. I'm sorry, but anyways, they're small infants. You're telling me that you expect me to come back to a job before 6 months, before my body has healed? You're actually expecting me to come back after a month? They say pregnancy is not a disease. It's insane. That is absolutely insane to me. How can you? And the thing is, it wouldn't matter if it's you're going and you're sitting in the pew or whatever. You're doing long hours, feeding your child, long hours, the whole day there, and it's the mental load, it's everything. Just you then say to them, do you know what? I can't come today because I'm having a really bad PDD episode, what do they call it? Postnatal depressive episode or whatever, yeah? They will literally look at you and say, you need to pack it in, you need to get it together. And, and come, this is your duties, these are your responsibilities. Now, if you're a leader, oh my gosh, they're coming down, you'll have visitations. You will have weekly visitations for you to come back. They will literally think you're going through, I don't know, a rebellion.
Yeah.
That's quite scary. But I've yapped so much. Oh my gosh, the sun is gone. So I'll leave you to it. I just boycotted. I actually just came on here to speak nonsense to you. I thought you had less people.
No, Tony, this is, I love it when you come on because you've got this photographic memory. So I'm really grateful that I was she's on today. Let me just give her space. It's let her come and share your wisdom with us. Is that okay? So just before, because I know you're out and you're up and down, but just, is there any if you have to go, but is there any kind of advice, if you would give any advice to any survivors or someone watching that wants to get out? Maybe
I think you need to take time to think, because in this place they don't allow you to think. That's one thing they don't allow you to do. Take time to, just like if you're in a relationship and you've been in therapy, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with someone telling you to take time out, think about it. Don't just go based off how you feel or when it's good. You have to treat it as an abusive relationship. When it's good, was so good, but when we're bad, we're bad. I would tell my friend, leave that relationship in a heartbeat, because what do you mean when it's bad, it's bad? You should never have highs and lows like that. I'm not talking about little arguments or little spats or whatever. I'm talking about to the point where you're depressed, you're not eating, you're not showering, you're not able to concentrate, they're being narcissistic, they're controlling you, it's coercive. That's telltale signs that you're in an abusive relationship. Like, and if my friend was in a relationship like that with a man, I would tell them to leave in a heartbeat. So you need to have that same kindness to yourself and look at it and say, do you know what? Is it a good majority of the time? Is it good all the time? With, natural human interactions where you might not feel great at some point or whatever? Or is it, yeah, this is really nice, but then this is really bad and this makes me feel really low. My pastor's really nice to me, but then they're really horrible to me, and they actually, treat me like a doormat, and they make me feel really bad about myself, and they make me feel like I'm invalidated, and they don't treat me with respect. They're not kind to me. You need to treat it as if it's that, because it is a type of relationship. It's not the same in a romantic sense, because you're not getting anything maybe romantic out of it, like love or intimacy, but it's the same type of relationship, because everything is built off relationships and that goal. That's why you're in so many freaking WhatsApp group chats and so many other, I don't know what other platforms they use now. I'm pretty sure they probably have upgraded to something, but that's why you're in so many different platforms, to make it so it's 10 times more psychological for you to leave, because you're not just leaving one group chat, you're not just leaving the chat, you have to leave the choir group chat, you have to answer the choir lead, you have to answer to this person, you have to answer to that person. You can't just leave. There's always a loophole for them to kind of get you back through something. So take time out to really think about everything, to really think about your feelings, to really think about how you relate to this church. Actually take time to think and know your Bible and think, okay, are they actually promoting love? Are they actually being loving, or are they being hateful? Are they actually are they talking about God? Do they mention God a lot in the Bible? Do they stick a God
Your sound.
a lot of their knowledge? Do they talk about money more than they talk about loving others? Do they talk about giving more than they talk about Jesus? Do they talk about how to be a better person, or do they just constantly talk about marriage? Like, what are they talking about? What is happening? And then I would say, how does it affect your personal life? Am I a better person? If you're married, am I a good wife? If you're in a relationship, am I a good girlfriend or a good partner? If you're a mother, am I able to be a good mother? Or am I not spending time with my children or my child? Am I a nice daughter, or am I a nice son? Am I a good worker? Am I making up lies at work because I have to go to a last minute camp? Or am I actually doing my work with integrity and putting my all into it and flourishing in my career and creating milestones and thinking outside the box, just not limiting myself to maybe a local authority or office job that I hate and I want to get out of, but I can't because it needs to pay the bills so that I can continue to pay everything within this church. And then you want to look at your finances, and this will be the big one. You want to see how much of your salary goes towards this place. And if it's over 30%, you want to be asking yourself, what have I got from that? Because if I'm, getting money from work, I'm at least getting a cheeky little 20% put back into the pension, because that's how it works in the UK. Yeah. What pension have they built up for you? And how many hours do you put in? Because I'm pretty sure you're putting in enough hours to be considered an unpaid labourer. And under that law, you really need to say, am I a free labourer? You know what I mean by that. I mean SLABE. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
Wow. Oh my God, have you got time for one more question? If you have to go, it's cool.
Okay, what's the question?
All right. So how do you learn to trust anyone again and actually spend time with people?
I think that comes that's quite a loaded question. I think that comes with a lot of support. You have to work on yourself first. And you have to work on understanding what your belief system is, understanding how you want to interact with the world, and understand how you want to be socialized back into society before you can start I don't know. I'm more taking it in the sense of a romantic relationship maybe, or even friendships or whatever, but you need that space to be alone, not isolated but alone. So you still have your support network, you still have the people you talk to, but you articulate and communicate to them hey, I realized that I've been in this I don't know if you want to, a lot of people might not be able to say the word cult or whatever, but I've been in a space that's been very controlling, and I want you to know that I'm working through it. I'm reaching out to the necessary people. I just need you to support me in this, and you need to figure out what support you need. Is it that you need space from people for a little while? Is it that you need people to maybe not message you so much, and you explain that and articulate that to them? If then these people defy your boundaries and they're calling with your line and saying, no, we need to get to within a certain remit, like out of the usual text here and there, whatever, or maybe a phone call to just check up on you. If they're just, completely overstepping boundaries, you need to realize maybe that's someone that you shouldn't have in your life. Maybe that's someone that, is a relationship that was born out of your attributes that you developed from the core, and you need to leave that. But on the flip side, you then need to kind of, have healthy communication with people, work through a lot of the stuff alone, get help from the right provisions, speak to your GP, speak to the NHS. If you are in a position to pay for private therapy, do that. I would always suggest therapy. Therapy is always a good starting point. And raise those things with the person. If your whole thing, a lot of it is about like relationships and how to like kind of re-socialize and reintegrate relationships and build healthy relationships and stuff like that. Psychodynamic and psychoanalytical therapy are perfect for that, because they kind of allow you to explore the past but not go too deep in the past where you're just like talking about past experience or whatever. They help you to kind of recenter and also I guess provide context for where you're coming from and the person you are and why might have these behaviors and where they're born from, but how to change that in the present and how to kind of allow yourself grace but to move on, because there's a certain point where you have to grow. So give yourself grace and allow yourself to feel certain things, but there's a certain point at which you have to take responsibility and accountability to change things, to at least make an effort to change things. You can't stay stuck in the same position you are and use things as an excuse. Like, yes, okay, maybe a lot of us were, I don't know, had a really bad childhood or whatever, but you can't then use that and say, do you know what, I'm gonna physically chastise women, do you know what I mean, HIT, women, because I was HIT by my mum. There's a certain point at which you have to change that behavior, and you have to you can't use your past actions to kind of justify why you're moving a certain type of way. Or for example, in the cult, if you're like, I guess that could cause someone to really shut down with communication and just ghost people and be kind of like emotionally distant and stuff like that. There's a point at which you have to say, I need to work on this now, and I need to at least, you don't have to be perfect, you're not going to be perfect overnight, but at least try to move forward with it and articulate things and seek help, and because you're not expected to do this by yourself. This is not something that you take on by yourself and put it all on you, but like you have to take that big step and change. But yeah, that's what I would tell someone.
Wow. Oh my God. Tony, thanks so much, because that is like, there's a lot there, and I'm glad we've got it recorded as well, because there's even like certain therapy that you've suggested, like was it psychodynamic as well?
Yeah, and psychoanalytical. I think there's one of the same.
And psychoanalytical as well. So thanks a lot, man. And I think we need to look for, I think it would be good to do a session on that. Maybe like, if you ever come across it, if I'm talking about any of these theories, like, and therapeutic approaches, please jump on if you've got the time. Because this is more your specialist area than mine. Do you know what I mean?
Right, not anyone's specialist, it's not my specialist area.
Oh, whatever. She was trying to look at her. She's whatever, girl.
What's that woman's name? The one who's in Canada. She's a therapist.
Which one?
I forgot her name. Your friend from Canada.
Oh, Chizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but she comes on sometimes, but not all the time. So, but I could definitely reach out to her though. Chizza would always. She's really lovely.
Yeah, because when I was speaking to her last, like, she was really like informative and like she's really like progressive as well.
Yeah, she's
like the way she kind of addresses things.
Yeah, she does. It would be good. I'll message her as well. Yeah, girl. I think I'm gonna start wrapping up now.
Okay, cool.
So thank you so much for sharing that, because I think it's helped a lot of people, and it's always nice to get you on as well, because we were in it together. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice to get someone to validate my experience. Sometimes I feel like I'm going mad on here. So appreciate you, my love. This is my real life sister, everybody. This is my blood sister. So thank you so much, my love. Let me let you attend to my daughter.
All right, then.
Please make sure that you treat her right.
Whatever.
Thank you, my love.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. She won't say love you. She's like got the Courtney temperament. She won't say it. Do you want me to cut it off? All right. Bye. Oh my gosh, this is so close up, because guys, I've had to do up lighting. because on the YouTube and the Instagram, it's so dark. All right, guys, I'm gonna get ready to go. Has anyone got any questions? Because I don't want to just leave it like so open. But wasn't that amazing, guys? Guys, I've got to go back and watch it and process it, because when my sister speaks, it's just like I just disassociate. I'm not gonna lie. That's what happens. Do you not notice? I just disassociate, because it's like that's my actual like sister, that's my heart, do you know what I mean? Like, and I didn't clock so much stuff was going on, and there was a lot of that. I'm glad that, you know, my sister's come out of the other end of it, and I'm so proud of like her healing journey, and you know how much like she's matured and changed as a person. It's really inspirational for me. If you're here, Tony, I really do mean that. And you know, because if you had totally gone off, I just don't think I would have been able to forgive myself, guys, and I just don't think I would be able to do any of this. So, you know, the strength of the women in my family is nothing short of inspirational. And, you know, you're absolutely amazing, like sensational mother to my niece as well. So attentive, and just, it's just beautiful to see you blossom into the beautiful young lady that you are. Oh, whatever, man. On YouTube, like I don't. It's spiritual psychosis, babe. It's spiritual psychosis that you're doing up on there, because I just started reading the first line. And I just said, "Oh, this is human fecal matter." Right, that's my sign to log off, guys. I think, oh, she's there. Love you, sis. You can't take away this moment. Do you know what I mean? I'm so proud of you, Tony. You've done so much healing, and when you can, please come on and, you know, because my sister's helped me a lot, you know, with the deconstruction, especially the stuff around like healing and letting go and releasing and everything like that. And we're just all trying to just, you know, guys, fight for our life, our mental health. Hey, sis, you all right, babe? And it's a journey. It's a journey, and I'm just glad that we're on the other side. You know, we're making it. Every day we're getting through, guys. I don't know, I think I'm gonna rest for the rest of the evening, but you never know with me, guys. If I can't sleep, you'll probably see me on her, but I will definitely be on tomorrow. You'll be seeing content. I'm going to start rolling out content now, y'all, so get ready with this regrowth hair. But you know I'm going to make it work. You know, I'm going to make it work or whatever. All right, guys, let me go. Love y'all. Look out for the content, man. You lot show the content some love, man. It's been a good week. All right, love y'all, TikTok. Have a great night. Please remember to follow me up and engage with the content. Love y'all. Bye. Let's close it on TikTok, because you know they love to try and get me, like, report me and get me off chair. All right, the truth. Let's see. Oh, it says go live now. Your videos are trending. Oh my God, are you having a laugh? No, man. Oh, okay. For TikTok, that's quite decent. I might go on later then. I might just take a little break. If I see it start creeping up, I'll go again on TikTok. All right, YouTube, love y'all. Edward Barber, didn't even read it. Spiritual psychosis, baby. Y'all crazy. All right, bye, Instagram.